Hello and welcome to MALILLA, Sweden for round 9 of the FIM Speedway Grand-Prix. Big weekend of racing, expected lots of questions to be answered. But before we get into tonight's action, let's move down to the pit area where Scott Nichols is joined by a very special guest.
Yeah, thanks, Marcelina. Well, the championship leader, Bartosz Zmarzlik, joins me now. Bartosz, you come into MALILLA with a 20-point lead. You could be world champion tonight. Does that apply more pressure, or do you feel a bit more relaxed being in that position?
I don't know, because I feel normal, the normal before GP, and also for me. So next round, I'm full focus for the today night, and yes, I make the good job, and we'll see what happened the last hit.
Is your focus solely on you and winning tonight's Grand Prix, or will you be keeping an eye on Leon Madsen and make sure he's behind you?
I don't know. I want to, good job and good work for my all guys and for my sponsor and people, because this Speedway is my job, and I don't looking for what the results in the future. And I been today in here, and I'm full focus for today.
And we're here in MALILLA. Is this a track you like? Do you like the track in MALILLA?
Yes, because I 2 times win in here, and I'm good memories from here, and we'll see what they make it today.
Well, thanks for chatting to us, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
It's round 9 of Speedway World Championship, all live from MALILLA, Sweden, and I'm delighted to be joined once again by Swedish Speedway legend, Discovery Ambassador, 6-time world champion Tony Rickardsson. Hello, Tony. Thank you so much for joining tonight.
Thank you very much, Marlene. It's really good to be here, and what a fantastic atmosphere starts to build up.
Great to hear that. I need to ask you a question that I think was asked many times before this round here in MALILLA. Is Bartosz Zmarzlik capable of sealing the title win tonight?
Well, I think he have a very good chance, because my view on the last GP in Voyens, where he didn't really perform 100% during the early stages, it could really gone any way, but he really put it together when it really matters most, and I think that's really the definition of a champion. And he put a great ride together, and then he came out on top. So he really made a big difference compared to the other guys that night.
What makes Bartosz Zmarzlik special? Because he seems to be very cool, calm and collected before that 2 last rounds.
Well, it may be going to sound strange, but I don't think he have come to his full potential yet in all the Grand Prix. He's even showing even stronger results in the league. So he's missing a little bit of, I hate to say this, but the competition from the Russian guys, because they really pushed him last year, and as we know, we have a reigning world champion from Russia, but still he's such a competitive guy, and he still seems to be able to be relaxed during high pressure times, and I think it really showed his true colors in Voyens when he changed it. Could have been a bad meeting, but he changed it to be a super success.
Obviously, we're going to talk about Bartosz Zmarzlik later on in the show, but I need to ask you about Swedish Grand Prix, because it seems like, especially MALILLA, has this very special atmosphere here. It's like a festival vibe here, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And when I was driving in here, I saw all these camper motorhomes going in. I'm like, is that a campsite here? Or it's actually all the fans that's coming out here. And it is such a beautiful nature around this stadium, and they made such a great job with the whole place here. So it is a different situation than being in a big stadium, but this is like where Speedway was born and where it really excels. So it's great to be here.
Obviously, you have also great fans here in MALILLA, and they will be cheering on Freddie Lindgren, no doubt about it. Freddie, who has been struggling a bit with this season, and that's because of some of his health problems. He was infected by COVID back in 2020 twice, and ever since he's been struggling with breathing problems. Freddie Lindgren will be now talking us through his day-to-day battle to overcome long COVID.
still hasn't recovered 100%. So I'm, at the moment we really don't know what's happening, what's going on, why it's happening. One day I feel better, one day I feel worse. The worst was at Gorso, I really struggled to breathe, and when I took my helmet on for a heat, I almost was puking because I couldn't get any air, and I get very fatigued in between the races, in between meetings, and I struggle with my day-to-day training program and stuff like that. So it's hard. Still fighting to stay in this series, to maybe get a medal, and my clubs as well are fighting in the playoffs and doing fairly well. So I decided to give it a go and give it my best shot. It's been really frustrating, the last 3 years I would say it's been frustrating. I haven't really been able to push myself the way I want to, and it's tough mentally as well, when you try and fight through it, but I can't do it, so it's difficult. Yeah, my main focus after this season will have to be and understand what's going wrong with my body, and see if we can do anything about it to make sure I can come into 2023 100%. All the people are there to support me, they want me to do well, and I try and get some extra energy from them. I always do the best that I can on track, off track. Sometimes at the moment it hasn't been enough, but I will not stop fighting.
Freddie Lindgren was the winner of 2019 edition here in MALILLA, and definitely he's coming to round 9 with the big hopes, especially to please the crowd here at the Skrotfrak Arena.
Yeah, sure. If he can have a good meeting here tonight, it's going to be absolutely boiling in here. But like I said, I really feel for Freddie, because he do all his exercising, all his diet, all his training, do everything so well, and that he cannot get his full potential out of him. That must be heartbreaking for him.
We just heard that he's still suffering from that after effects of long COVID. How difficult it is for the rider when you have to come out there and compete when you don't feel well.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be extremely both mentally and physically difficult for him, because I remember back in my days, I always felt like if I could be 2-3% better than the other guys, that will give me a great advantage. But if you already lost a few percent and then you got to go out and compete with the absolutely best riders in the world, it is an uphill struggle.
It's a very difficult task ahead of Freddie Lindgren. We wish him all the best, obviously. But what do you say if we now move to Scott Nichols, who's still in the pit area, and we're going to see what's the atmosphere like?
Yeah, thanks, Marcelino. I'm down the pit. It's kind of a bit like the calm before the storm right now, but I'm just going to quickly grab a quick word with our wild card, Oliver Bernson. Oliver, you missed out on the GP qualifier through injury, and so a chance to prove yourself tonight. How excited are you to be here tonight?
Yeah, you're right, Scott, and I'm very excited to finally get to ride a Grand-Prix again, and without rain in MALILLA, it's unbelievable, just that. I have a great feeling, and I think it's going to be a good night.
Cool, well, I hope you have those good feelings tonight. Best of luck. Going to take a little wander down the pits right now. You see the boys just sitting there, just getting themselves composed. They will have done all their little last bit rehearsals with their mechanics, having those little chats. See Lebedev sitting beside me to my right there, just having a chill, just getting himself composed, ready. Shapelski there, just getting himself organised. There's going to be a bike coming over my shoulder now. That'll be Shapelski's. They will have done all those last-minute checks. Jack Holder, quickest in qualifying today. His mechanic just checking over the clutch, making sure everything's okay. They'll do those last little tweaks, make sure the chains are not moving. They're all settled in and everything else. Martin Vasilik just sitting there getting his thoughts together. His crew there. Martin's missed obviously one round through injury, which is unfortunate for him. And then as we roll up to Jason Doyle, a lot of pressure on Jason. He's outside that top 6. It's a good track for Jason. He's ridden here in the past. He looked good in practice. A lot of pressure on the boys tonight. But before we focus on tonight, we'll take a quick look back to all the action in Voyens last week.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Denmark for round 8 of the FIM Speedway Grand Prix, all live from Voyens Speedway Center.
Green light is on and we're underway. Madsen's made a great start. That gate number 3 really is tough. Bartosz Smalczyk just left there, hanging there with Rasmus Jensen battling with Smalczyk out the back. Here comes Leon Madsen, working overtime. Dudek hanging on. Leon Madsen round the outside. Terrific effort from him. Leon made a good start from gate 3's time, but look at that from Smarslik. Really determined. He's on the back wheel out of the first corner, but he hangs on to it. Frick coming through into second place. Lindgren back in third. So through the last corner, Bartosz Smarslik wins comfortably. Bewley left it late, of course, in Wrocław, where he needed to win his last heat, and he duly did, but he didn't have Smarslik alongside him that time. Oh, he's blown it. I would suggest that's the end of his night, and that's a bitterly disappointing end. Tapes up. Oh, Rasmus Jensen's just blown in big style off the start, and that's allowed. I've got to say, I think he might have put the other riders off there, because Robert Lambert has taken full opportunity here with both hands. Out of gate number 2, Lambert. Wow, wins his last qualifying race. Madsen now coming through in second place. Robert Lambert, that really is a surprise. Absolutely stunning stuff from him. Lambert's going to go through to the final. What a ride. Leon Madsen coming through in second place. They go roaring into the first corner. Dudek has made a great start. Here comes Smarslik round the outside. Made a terrible start. Dudek, oh my goodness gracious me. He's out in front of Smarslik round the outside of Dorlan. A sensational move from him. Dudek now, and the two Polish riders go through. But so is Smarslik, but it's Lambert. Lambert and Smarslik through that first corner. Smarslik there, Lambert having the door absolutely rammed shut down the back straight. Smarslik out in front. This is all but done. The World Championship is getting ever closer. He wins here in Boyens tonight. Brilliant ride from him. Robert Lambert clearly delighted with a second place. And Leon Madsen back in third, and Dudek misses out.
And here we have championship standings after Wojens. Bartosz Smarslik is getting closer to his third title. 20 points behind him, Leon Madsen in second, and in third, Dan Bewley. But the battle for bronze look very promising, because Dudek is just 1 point behind Dan Bewley. Robert Lambert jumped to the 5th position after back-to-back podium in the last 2 rounds, and Maciej Janowski keeps 6th and last automatic qualification for 2023. That is how it looks before round 9 here in MALILLA. And now we are back to discussion about Bartosz Smarslik, because definitely he is making a history. And now my question is he going to be one of the all-time greatest? And, well, look out, because he's chasing you down.
I sure is, and I really hope he will be. One of my dreams always been to be able to hand over the legacy from my days, you know, and if he can beat my record, he's more than welcome. That would be awesome. But back to the thing, yeah, I really think he have everything that's needed, you know. He seems to have a really good surrounding around him, and he's really chilled about being in that, because it's a quite vulnerable position to be right at the top, you know. It's tough going up there, you know, but like you always said, the view is good, but everybody's there to try to drag you down. So if he can keep his momentum as he's doing now, absolutely he can be. I think he's already one of the greats.
As we discussed, he's getting closer to that third title, but Leon Madsen still has like mathematical chances to get the world title, but he made it quite clear that his focus is right now on 2023. It doesn't mean he give up, but definitely he thinks very practically about what's coming up.
Yeah, you know, I think always, like in racing, you need to live in the moment, and if any suggestion or ideas I can give to any of the riders is to live day by day, you know, and do as good as you can, because if you win races today, that's gonna help you win races next year. You know, you build confidence, you give testing, so always go into every race with 100%. They will boost your confidence and your preparations for the coming year.
Leon Madsen admitted that he has some special tools in his toolbox for the next season. You're a fantastic Speedway engineer. Do you know what kind of tools that might be?
That would be very interesting to see. I think I need to run over to his toolbox and check out what it is.
Okay, maybe we'll find out what he's planning on using next year. But, well, World Championship might be decided tonight, but definitely the battle for the top 6 will be very fierce this season. One of the candidates to secure his spot in the next season of Speedway Grand Prix is Ty Woofenden, and now we're going to hear from the triple world champion.
It's been a tough season for you. You've made a lot of changes, you've said that yourself, in order to push for that top 6. How significant are those changes coming into this latter part of the season?
To be honest, there are more changes for next year. You know, we're doing some pretty big changes, which is really cool. I'm super excited about it. We're testing a lot of stuff, which is super interesting. That keeps me motivated, and yeah, just looking forward to getting out of here tonight, finishing the season off on a high, and back to Australia finally since March 2020. So we're looking forward to going back there and moving back into our house that's been sat empty for 2.5 years. So yeah, it's going to be nice. I really need to get back to Australia. I need that break away from the sport and revamp and get everything ready for next year.
It's good to hear you doing that. You said just now that your focus is on 2023. You're 3-time world champion, you've been there, you've done it, you've got the t-shirt. So what is the driving force behind that now?
The driving force is just to win more. Like, every time I get on the bike, I want to win a race, and you know, I think people have a perception that, you know, when you get to a certain age that you all of a sudden don't want to win, and that's not the case. I'm probably more competitive than when I was younger with everything just in life and on the track. So people don't see when I go home after a bad meeting and Faye has to deal with me for 5 days of, you know, walking around the house upset and sad and angry at the situation I'm in. So yeah, like I said, we've made some changes for next year, but we're still focused on this year. Don't get me wrong, we still want to finish the season on a high and make a top 6 spot. And yeah, we're out here to have fun and do my job, and I'm the kind of guy that I need to switch off from the sport. I've always been like that, and the last 3 years I haven't been able to do that. You know, living in Poland has been great, and we have a beautiful house and we live in a beautiful city, probably the best city in Poland, but I can't switch off. You know, I come home and the next door neighbour's asking me how the racing was, and so is the other guy that lives on our street, and we haven't got really any friends that we hang out with. We have like 2 people that we catch up with. So yeah, it's been challenging, but it's also been amazing. You know, I've been able to spend a lot of time at home with the girls and see them grow up, and I kind of missed the first couple of years of Riley growing up because I was flying away and racing and whatnot. So I got to see that with Callie, which has been super nice, and yeah, being able to spend time with the family is amazing. But next year we'll be back in the UK, and I'll be flying out and doing my job, and then coming home and being able to switch off. And for me, that's super important. And yeah, we have a lot of things in the pipelines which we're starting to work on, which gears up for next year. So the preparation will start probably a couple of weeks after Torrent GP.
Ty Woofenden in a very honest interview. Well, I need to ask you, were you surprised hearing what Ty is talking about the sport, the speedway, that sometimes he needs that switch off from the sport? Isn't it surprising for you?
No, not at all. I think everybody comes home from work one or 2 days, you know, during the year where you just feel you just need to switch off and think about something else. And especially these guys, they are so focused for a long period of time, because you can't really turn off, come home, you know, relax from TV. It's always on your mind a little bit. So no, I can really feel I know exactly what he's talking about.
Speedway season might be short but very intense. I think you'll agree with me on that. Well, Ty Woofenden, who admitted that he has been working very hard to find a perfect engine, because he's been struggling a little bit with the equipment so far, and he's trying to do whatever it takes to be back to his top. Is he capable of winning here tonight?
Sure is. I think everybody here, we have seen how competitive the series has been this year. We have had various different winners throughout the year, so definitely has a chance. And like the bikes are today, it's such a small setup window to get the bike right, but if he can get that right tonight, he's definitely are capable of winning.
Ty Woofenden, who is trying to get his spot secured for 2023. Another racer who is under pressure of making it to the top 6 is Jason Doyle.
Yeah, a lot of the time you're trying to find that little edge to be faster, and sometimes you think you found it in practice, and then obviously you go to race day and it's totally different. So we've been playing all year trying to get some speed with the tuners that I used for the last 2 years, but yeah, we've knocked that on the head now and gone with another tuner, and I feel a lot more happier. Obviously you can see the speed's back, and hopefully tonight I can show the speed again and make the final.
You're making all those changes, but do you have much opportunity? Some of the viewers at home might not realise you make all these changes, like you say, with engine tuners and stuff, but do you get much chance to try them before you roll up at the GPs?
No, I guess sometimes you can go to practice, but obviously when you go to practice, it's a totally different to race day, and you feel fast always by yourself, but then when you're behind copping a lot of dirt and the bike gets heavier, the engine doesn't work the same way as it does in practice. But sometimes these tuners are always trying to make money from the rider and actually not helping the rider out, so it's nice to finally try to find something what suits you, and hopefully we can work with it.
That's right, you rode a bike as a kid because you love it, you don't do it for the money. GP life is hard, I'll keep it simple. Have you been enjoying GP life this season?
Nah, not getting your bum kicked is not very enjoyable, especially in Grand-Prix when you want to be at the top of the table, getting on the rostrum, getting trophies and winning Grand-Prix, and the last couple of years that hasn't happened, so I'm still got that edge to want to win a Grand-Prix and want to win medals again, and if I wasn't feeling like that, I would have quit a long time ago in the Grand-Prix, but I feel like I still have a lot to give and prove everyone, so hopefully I can step it up again.
For Jason Doyle, who used to represent the local club Dakar MALILLA last year, this track might be no misery, and it won't be a misery to us either, as Scott Nichols will explain to us. What's the track like?
Yeah, we're down here on the track about an hour before the meeting starts. They had practice day. Track was really good in practice. They've been working hard since then. The boys have been down here. They've had a good dig around on the start line. They always will. We know how important the starts are. The boys are going to be looking for spots like this. Nice soft bit. You can see me kicking in. That means they're going to get full traction to fire them into that first end. They're all going to be aiming for within a little the same spot in that first corner, which is why we get first bend bunching. What I like about MALILLA, one of the things I like is that the white line is lower than the track, so the riders can get their front wheel right over that white line. Opens up lots of different racing lines. MALILLA always develops good racing lines. Fingers crossed the rain is going to stay away. The dirt line builds up on the outside. Always great racing. The boys have had their track walk with their mechanics. They'll be doing those last little changes, little tweaks. Has the track changed from practice? Do they want to make any little change to their bikes in order to get off to a great start? But whatever happens, I'm excited. It's always a great night's racing here. I'm going to look forward to a good one.
And we are getting closer till the tapes go up. The atmosphere is getting better and better around the stadium. But I need to ask you about Dan Bewley as he crashed in the qualifying session. How does it affect the rider to be getting into the race with such a situation?
Well, I think it's sure, it's not positive because when you're out there, you try to ride the bike as hard as you can all the time, and it was not a big bad crash, I think he will brush himself off and get out there. But I think it also will, there will be a little bit check, how we can brush something like that off and if we can get out and get going, but obviously it's a little bit dent in the confidence, I think.
Okay, so as we are getting closer to the first heat, let's wrap it up a little bit. What are your final thoughts about tonight? Who's going to be to look out for tonight?
Well, I think, Smašlik is really in for it to try to wrap it up here. He's been having some fantastic performances here before. So, we can see what we will do.
It's going to be an amazing night for everyone tonight. We will see who's going to leave Scott Frog Arena with a win tonight. So please stay with us to find out.
Be a bad time for the broadband to go down. Don't worry, Vodafone full fibre broadband is up to 5 times more reliable than standard. You did switch to Vodafone, right? Switch and save over £200 versus BT.
In our October draws, one postcode area will win a share of £7.9 million. Are you ready for your final test?
I'm ready.
Big boss!
Hey, Jason, give us your autograph, boyo!
No distractions! Get in, Ambassador. Those doors won't knock themselves.
Join in with your neighbours before midnight on the 23rd of September to play in our October draws.
At Motorpoint, selling your car is quick and easy. Love your valuation? Then take your car to the nearest store for an instant payment. Motorpoint. Get your valuation today.
Toby was a bag of nerves. He'd fallen in love online, but would his expectations be met in the cold light of day?
Mum, this is it!
At last, she was here. An electric car found on Auto Trader delivered straight to his door. With the biggest choice of cars for home delivery, we'll help you find your match. Auto Trader, Britain's biggest matchmaker.
New McDonald's Monopoly Double Peel. Peel on back, then peel in app. Get more out of playing with the McDonald's app.
Him not being able to take his place in the GP Challenge, but certainly a rider that's enjoying a terrific season, particularly the Speedway of Nations. Mads Hansen coming forward here. He is an injury replacement for Mikkel Mikkelsen, who cannot take his place in the lineup for the young Danish rider. Fabulous opportunity. Andre Lebedev's coming in to replace the injured Anders Thompson.
Yeah, Mads Hansen, just going back to him, he did actually finish runner-up last year in the under-21. He's got a bright future ahead of him.
Indeed he has. Now we see Pavel Szapelski coming forward. A better performance from him earlier on today and looking to finish the season off on a high, that's for sure. Been a tough campaign for him so far. Max Frick likewise wants to finish the season well.
Yeah, he'll need a strong finish. He's had that one win in the Narradovi, but unfortunately his form has escaped him in all the other rounds.
Speedway of Nation winner, of course, Jack Holder, a Grand Prix rider already for 2023, but I've got to say his qualifying performance was absolutely spot on. Martin Vasilik outside the top six, needs two big Grand Prix.
Yeah, of course, missed one round with that shoulder injury, so looking to return back to top form.
Jason Doyle, certainly a rider that knows this place well, of course, having ridden for the club in the past, will be looking for a final at the very least here this evening. And Lindgren coming forward, still suffering with health issues, but there's no question the home crowd favourite has a fabulous record here in MALILLA.
Ty Wolfenden, decent qualifying earlier today. Looked quite comfortable out on track.
Did indeed. Former world champion, of course, wants to finish strongly as well. Matsej Janowski, well, we just don't know quite what to expect with Matsej, but he rides for Dakana here in the Swedish League, so I'm sure he'll want to delight the home crowd tonight, and he'll need to if he wants to stay in the top six. And Robert Lambert, what a couple of Grand Prix he's had.
Fantastic, yeah, that's third in Wrocław, second in Boyens. Can he go one better tonight?
I wouldn't put it past him. Dudek in a great form as well, chasing down that bronze medal, just 1 point behind Dan Bewley in the championship standings. Dudek doing very nicely indeed at the vital time of the year. Dan Bewley, well, he just hopped off the bike in practice, but I'm sure that won't worry him too much, and he'll be looking to really push on here tonight.
Leon Madsen, the man capable of reeling in Schmarsdijk. He's taken the pressure off himself ahead of Voyen, said he was looking at 2023. He has a tough task ahead of him, but it's all about this man, Bartosz Schmarsdijk.
Yeah, Schmarsdijk coming forward now, the 20-point lead in the championship after winning 7 days ago. Fabulous performance from him. Almost just got one hand on the trophy. So there we have the riders for the evening's event. We will take a pause now, and Marlena Karlström will sing the national anthem of Sweden for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on the central stage our national anthem singer Marlena Karlström. So, if you are ready, please stand up for your national anthem of Sweden.
Du gamla, du fria, du fjällhöga nord, du tysta, du glädje, rika sköna land upp på jord. Din sol, din himmel, dina ängder gröna. Din sol, din himmel, dina ängder gröna. Du tronar på minne från fornstora dagar, då ärat ditt namn flög över jorden. Jag vet att du är och du blir vad du var. Ja, jag vill leva, jag vill dö i Norden. Ja, jag vill leva, jag vill dö i Norden.
Thank you very much.
Super rendition of the national anthem there. Really was some quite outstanding performance there. Riders will make their way back to their pit areas now, and the competition is just moments away. It's a chilly evening, but as I say, we are set fair. The weather has behaved, and heat number 1 is not too far away from us now.
Add cognac. Add flambé.
Be a bad time for the broadband to go down. Don't worry, Vodafone full fibre broadband is up to 5 times more reliable than standard. You did switch to Vodafone, right? Switch and save over £200 versus BT.
Right, come on, guys.
Have you seen one of these, Dad?
One of those.
From long-range electric driving to boundless connections, let Hyundai power your world.
This is getting rewards and the occasional. This is My McDonald's Rewards on the McDonald's app.
Wait, isn't it my niece's birthday soon? What if I got her a cool magnifying glass on Amazon? We could start to solve mysteries. Set up our very own detective bureau. Identify some suspects. Follow some leads. And crack the case. Best auntie ever.
So there we are, just now beginning to make the final preparations before the opening race of the night, and young Mads Hansen just testing his reactions before his first ride of the night. I'm sure he'll be a touch nervous. He will coming out in heat number 4 as the replacement for Mikkel Mikkelsen. And for talking about Mikkelsen, Chris, it is a blow for Mikkelsen. His injury is inopportune right now. You know, he's just outside the top 8, and he could really have done but being here tonight.
Yeah, he could. I mean, he's down in 10th place, 69 points. You know, still a very realistic chance of qualifying, but of course, with missing this meeting tonight, it looks pretty much out of the question.
There's going to be a tall order for him, certainly. We've got Leon Madsen coming out here in the opening race. He drew number 1 for this evening's event, so he will come out after each track grade. He'll start from the inside here in the opening race, and Leon Madsen realistically is the only rider that can get the better of Bartosz Zmarzlik. If it is to happen, then he's going to need some help. Zmarzlik will need to maybe slip up and Madsen to really push on, but I think conditions will suit Madsen. It's a nice smooth surface, there are no lumps and bumps in it. The evidence from qualifying earlier on today would suggest that it's going to be a very fair racetrack. We do hope that the grip develops around the outside, because this place, if that happens, we will see some truly extraordinary moves out there. Big, wide corners there, you look down there, it can produce some pretty special stuff.
Yeah, very special stuff, nowhere to hide. It's a big, wide track. I think actually it will suit this man in shot as well, Max Frick. He needs something special in these last couple of rounds, and this is a fast track. He can generate good speed. He's always smooth on the bike, but Leon Madsen, as you said, we know he's capable of generating great speed coming off the inside gate in his opening heat. Dan Bewley as well. We've got two of the world's top three currently in this heat.
Indeed we have, and Bewley had that nasty spill in practice, just got caught out. The track had just been freshly prepped and a little bit of water on, and he just literally spun the bike round, and it was quite a spectacular get-off, but he recovered nicely and got himself into a decent qualifying spot, and I'm sure he won't be too bothered about that right now. So the lineup for heat number 1 then is Leon Madsen on the inside in red. Max Frick will go alongside him in gate 2 in blue. Oliver Berntsen, the wild card, will come out of gate 3 in white, and Dan Bewley in the opening race will go from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Bewley, of course, will be pushing on for a medal now, there's no doubt about that, but he's being chased very hard by Patrick Dudek, because Dudek has been really solid in the last 4 rounds.
Yeah, Dudek has really turned his season around. He had 3 pretty poor rounds, 5 points in each of the first 3 rounds, but hasn't failed to make a semi-final since then, and really been on top form. Looked pretty good in qualifying. And as you say, Dan Bewley with that crash in qualifying was yeah, it was a sort of a simple get-off, but it was high speed, a little bit awkward as well.
Was indeed. So here we go then for the opening race of the night. It's round number 9 in the World Championship. Here we go, green lights on, tapes are up, and we're away, and they charge in towards the first corner. Madsen gets there nicely. Frick turning back up the inside. Smart move from him. They're neck and neck down the back straight, but it's Frick. Frick just about holding the lead here. Round the inside, I would suggest, is going to be the best way in this opening race. Bewley's out the back with Oliver Berntsen back in 3rd place, but just Leon Madsen moving a metre off that inside line cost him dearly there.
Yeah, Madsen just left the door open in the first turn. Really no need to do that. The fastest place would be right around the curb in these opening heats, but Max Frick just set himself up nicely to take full advantage. Madsen looks like he's carrying a little bit more speed than Frick, but it's going to be hard to find a way past in this opening heat.
Frick out in front then, under plenty of pressure from Leon Madsen, trying to get himself back to the front. You can see how hard he's trying there. He's got speed, but Max Frick has been impeccable here in the first race of the night. Out of the last corner, and Frick wins nicely there. Took the chance in that first turn. Half a mistake from Leon Madsen, just drifting off the inside and slipped back into 2nd place, allowing Max Frick through. Dan Bewley at the back there, gate 4 not working for him in the opening race, and no real surprise, they did tar pack the track quite a lot prior to the opening race. Max Frick out in front, 3 points for him. Leon Madsen back in 2nd place, 2 points. Oliver Berntsen back in 3rd, 1 point for him. And Dan Bewley misses out in his opening ride, but 4 more rides to come for him. But for Max Frick, that is a terrific start to his night's work.
Yeah, fantastic start for Max. Doesn't make a great start, but Madsen just opens the door there as he gets to the corner, just moves off the inside line. And certainly Max Frick, well, he's watching the replay there. You can see he just now moves into the front. He stretches a little bit on the first lap. Madsen starts to work the bike, work the conditions, find the faster lines, and he did carry a little bit more speed as the race went on. And we can see there the rider in white, Oliver Berntsen, just chopping down there on Dan Bewley.
He was indeed, but it was a solid performance from Frick out in front, and for Leon Madsen, who wants to try and keep the pressure on Bartosz Zmarzlik, just momentarily slipping up there and going back to 2nd place, but no real harm done at this very early stage. Last minute change here from Bartosz Zmarzlik, the championship leader. Quite clearly may have been influenced by that opening race. As I say, the track looks pretty slick to me, and possibly a touch greasy as well. Temperature's cold, it's single figures here, dry, but as I say, they have tar packed pretty extensively. On the inside is Matvej Janowski in red. Alongside him in blue is Andrei Lebedevs in gate 2. Gate number 3 in white is Patrick Dudek, and the championship leader Bartosz Zmarzlik going from the outside gate in yellow. And it'll be interesting to see what Zmarzlik can do from here, because just looking at this track right now, there isn't a lot of dirt wide, Chris, and you're going to have to really get that bike to work well if you want to make a start from gate number 4 early doors.
Yes, you are. It's a long way from there, and as you rightly say, the track is going to take a few heats to start to develop those lines. Madsen was making the lines, he had the speed, but no way past.
Here we go then, heat number 2, green lights on, and we're away, and they come roaring into the first corner. Janowski once again, that inside gate working well. Zmarzlik's done nicely there. That superb job back from the outside. It opened up lovely for him, with Lebedev's giving Patrick Dudek a bit of a thump in the first corner. So it's the 2 poles out in front here. Maciej Janowski, of course, knows this place so very well. Rides for Dakarna in the extra league here in Sweden. Zmarzlik pushing on hard in second place. Tougher and overtaking manoeuvre at this very early stage. Dudek is out the back and is not being able to land a blow, but good start from the inside from Janowski.
Janowski using local knowledge, looks very comfortable out there on the track. Zmarzlik's just dropped back a little bit. Great first turn from him. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, and the opposition opened the door for him quite nicely, just roared up the inside, but he really hasn't put a challenge in on Janowski.
Janowski out of the last corner, nice comfortable win for him. He gets his night off to the best possible start. Be pleased with that. Zmarzlik just moving away from that inside on one occasion and actually slipped back, and Andrei Lebedev's was coming on strong in third place, but for that man, he made no such mistake. Quite clearly, in the opening 2 races, it was all about being on the inside. 3 points for Janowski then. Bartosz Zmarzlik back in second place, 2 points. Lebedev's in third, 1 point for him, and Dudek misses out in heat number 2, fails to score. But for Maciej Janowski, a rider that has been up and down like a yo-yo this season, no doubt about that, needs a big night, and he has started in fine style.
As you say, he needs a big night and a great opening ride for him. Lebedev's just gives Dudek a little bit of a nudge there while he's doing that. Zmarzlik says thank you very much, rolls up the inside, just his run gets halted as they enter turn 3 by Janowski, and Dudek here now switches back, but Lebedev's just not moving off that line. He realises he's got to keep hold of that point. Trying to move off the line to find extra traction is just going to open the door for your opposition at this early stage. But Janowski, local knowledge, decent start for him.
Yeah, nice ride for him, and will settle him down very nicely, and he can kick on from there, that's for sure. So 2 races gone. Track still not quite at its best yet, but I'm sure that it will evolve, and we'll see plenty of racing lines to come. But right now, it does appear the fastest way is the shortest way around that inside line. And you can see there with Szapelski just digging around with his steel shoe. It is fairly firm here, so it may just take a few extra races for it just to really begin to develop. And we do hope it does, because, as I say previously, we have seen some spectacular stuff. So line up for heat number 3 is Freddie Lindgren will go from the inside in red. Pavel Szapelski out of gate number 2 in blue. Ty Wolfenden comes out of gate number 3 in white. And Robert Lambert in fine form. He goes from the outside in yellow. And Robert Lambert, I'm sure, will be looking to the top 3 in the world.
Yeah, he will. He'll be looking to go one better tonight after finishing third and second, respectively, in the last 2 rounds. Freddie Lindgren on the inside there, man that knows this track very well. He's always been consistent here in the Grand Prix.
He has indeed. He's got a fine record here at home, and has delighted the Swedish crowd on more than one occasion. Here we go, long pause for heat number 3, even break. But it's once again that inside gate working brilliantly, and it's Freddie Lindgren coming out of the first turn. Lambert's done remarkably well. Lambert! Brilliant move from Robert Lambert, got the speed. Fabulous move, just shoves Lindgren out of the way. Pavel Szapelski now coming through as well into second place. Can Lindgren recover? Might just be able to do it now. It's tight down the back straight. Lindgren desperate to get back into second place with Wolfenden out the back. But Robert Lambert, his form, his confidence, sky high. What a ride from him. A battle for second, third and fourth. But Robert Lambert out in front, clearing off.
Yeah, you stole the words right out of my mouth. Robert Lambert is a man riding high on confidence at the moment. Fantastic opening lap from him. Forceful up the inside of Fredrik Lindgren, who is coming under pressure now from Wolfenden. He's also putting pressure on Szapelski, but it's a traffic jam at the back there.
Indeed it is, but Robert Lambert's won nicely there. Really quite a comfortable win from him. Stunning move in the first part of the race there. Got the better of Lindgren, not many people do that. But he charged up the inside and won the race comfortably in the end. As you rightly say, it was a traffic jam behind, with Lindgren and Ty Woofenden just not really being able to land a blow. So the result of heat number 3 is Lambert, a fine win for him, 3 points. Szapelski back in second place, 2 points. Freddie Lindgren having to settle for third, and Ty Woofenden misses out.
Yeah, you said it in the race, very even break from the start. Definitely counts to be on the inside when that happens, and Lindgren finds himself at the front. But Robert Lambert generated so much speed. We spoke about it in qualifying, using the banking, just coming back down off the banking on turn 2 and forcefully through up the inside of Lindgren. Opens the door there for Szapelski, who doesn't need a second invitation, and it got awfully tight at the back for the minor placings. But the man up front, Robert Lambert, riding so high on his confidence right now.
It was indeed. It was a terrific ride from him. Argy-bargy going on between Szapelski and Freddie Lindgren.
They went at it for that lap.
They did indeed. And I thought for a moment Freddie was going to be able to slam the door shut, but just couldn't quite get there. But Robert Lambert producing a stunning move in the early part of heat number 3 to seal the win, and getting off to a terrific start tonight, and clearly loving his Grand Prix ride. There was a warning there, actually, we're hearing, for Ty Woofenden, so a little bit of movement on the start line, so he'll be informed about that. So heat number 4 is now with us, and we're cracking on with the action here. And as I say, track's pretty slick right now. You're going to have to make your moves early if you want to get into the big points up the front. Starting going to be an absolute premium. It looks like it could be one of those nights. And there's no doubt that there's 2 riders in this race that are really very keen on getting amongst the big points here this evening. Jason Doyle being one off the inside in red. Alongside him, likewise, Martin Vasilik coming out of gate 2 in blue. Mads Hansen coming in for the injured Mikkel Mikkelsen comes out of gate number 3 in white, and Jack Holder, the fastest man in practice, will go from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Big night for the 2 lads on the inside, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely right. They're chasing a top 6 spot at the moment. Jason Doyle 8 points adrift of Janowski in 6th.
Here we go then, heat number 4, and tapes up. Oh, what a start for Martin Vasilik. Fantastic. That bike just took off from the start line, and he's fired himself to the front. Doyle's in the second place. He gives Jack Holder a real good thump down the back straight, slams the door shut. That allows Mads Hansen through into 3rd place. But Martin Vasilik pretty much won the race when he dropped the clutch, because that bike just steamed into the first corner, and he's powering away out in front.
He is indeed. Best reaction and best traction from the bike on the way to the corner. Hits the front, builds an early lead. Jason Doyle very, very tough on Jack Holder down the back straight. And young Jack finds himself at the back, but fighting hard with Mads Hansen.
He's having a real good ding-dong battle there for 3rd place, but it's Martin Vasilik out in front, clearing off a comfortable 2nd place for Jason Doyle. And as hard as Jack Holder's working, can he find the extra grip, the extra speed to fire himself into 3rd place? Don't think he's going to quite do it, but for Martin Vasilik, what a start to the night for him. Textbook ride. Start was just immaculate, and quite clearly delighted with it, rightly so. And the 2 lads that need the big points tonight, in Vasilik and Doyle, coming through strongly in their opening ride this evening. And that was a statement of intent there from Martin Vasilik, that's for sure. 3 points for him, 2 points for Jason Doyle in 2nd place, 1 point for Mads Hansen back in 3rd. And as hard as Jack Holder tried, just could not get amongst the points in his opening ride. So they're the heat winners there for you: Janowski, Frick, Lambert and Martin Vasilik. And there's Schmarslik, Madsen, Doyle and Szapelski, all with 2nd places in their opening ride. So there we are, the first block of races.
Oh, how about a spark of inspiration? Oops! Let's get this thing rolling. Ta-da! Try that on for size. Yeah! Level up in Forge of Empires. Play now for free at FOE.tv or download the app.
The breathtaking Bennett's British Superbike Championship returns to the Donington Park Grand-Prix circuit on the 30th of September to the 2nd of October. This is the penultimate round of the 2022 Championship, and the stakes couldn't be higher, as a top-class field do battle across 3 headline races. Weekend tickets are just £45 online in advance, with free admission for under 13s. Book now at donington-park.co.uk.
Wait, isn't it my niece's birthday soon? What if I got her a cool magnifying glass on Amazon? We could start to solve mysteries. Set up our very own detective bureau. Identify some suspects. Follow some leads. And crack the case. Best auntie ever.
People have such an aversion to the taxman because I think you can get lost in a sense, but I find it easy peasy.
Sage members like Laura navigate making tax digital with our helpful accounting tools and advice from real experts. Sage, helping business flow.
New McDonald's Monopoly Double Peel. Peel on back, then peel in app. Get more out of playing with the McDonald's app.
Borders can be useful, but not always. Glass ceiling, classic border.
You're not listening to me.
No, you're not listening.
Political borders, very popular these days. Sometimes the borders are within. But when we see beyond borders, we see opportunity everywhere. Oh, there's one.
At Lidl, we're big on British, because all our fresh beef, chicken and pork is British. Like rump steak and triple cooked chips, as British as thanking the barber for a haircut you hate.
Oh, goodness. Terrific, thank you.
Or our Cumberlands and gravy as British as saluting a magpie.
Morning, General.
Chicken tikka masala as British as missing a bus and pretending you didn't want it anyway. And Lidl's sumptuous roast pork as British as a town crier, an umpire and a church choir. In Lincolnshire. Yep, that British. Now that's big on quality and always little on price.
98 calories a bag? Who knew?
What?
Sits, quavers and Monster Munch multi-packs. 100 calories or less.
Little longer.
So this is round 9. This is the Kaiser Swedish GP here in MALILLA. As I say, we've been here 16 times previously, and we have always enjoyed our visits here. So it's building up quite nicely. So let's get some more reaction now with Scotty Nichols. He's joined by Pavel Shapelski.
Yeah, Pavel Shapelski, you didn't get the win there, but you battled really hard to get a strong second place. GP life has been tough, though, for you so far.
Yeah, every hit is so tough in GP. So, you know, only one hit was right now, so I have to be focused to the end. And, you know, every time, like in the meeting, but especially here, very important is the first corner. So must be clever there and must be careful with the setups.
It's always here to rise talk about setups all the time. I know it's a long way off, but it's been a tough year for you. Do you think you want to come back in the GPs, maybe have a little bit of a break, get yourself confident again, then come back strong maybe in a year or so's time?
You know, to be honest, that was also always my dream, to be here with the best riders in the world. So I'm happy to be here, but you know, now my situation is like I don't have nothing to lose. So I come here and go to Torun, like have fun on the Speedway, do my best, and some break. I hope I have more seasons before me, so I have the time on this.
Well, the dream has started, and keep smiling and hope you get a race win tonight. Enjoy the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a tough season for Pavel Shapelski, but he has time on his side, and I'm sure he'll be back. It's looking like he won't be with us.
I mean, there's 4 world championships in that list, and they're just chasing them. You know, you've got to have one eye. They're chasing those other guys, Bewley, Dudek, Lambert, all chasing a podium spot. But of course, there's a chasing pack that want to knock them out the top 6.
So you cannot relax at all or rest on your laurels, and there's no doubt that with it being so tightly bunched and the point scores so close, there's no doubt that, as we've seen in recent rounds, it has changed dramatically. One massive performance can really turn your fortunes around. So track grading is just about completed, and we'll be on with the action for you once again. As I say, I do hope that the track just produces a little bit more material on it, because I think then we will see some really spectacular stuff. We saw Smarslik on screen there for you. Just move off the line momentarily in turns 3 and 4 behind Janowski in his first ride, and he went backwards. And suddenly he was then fighting to hang on to second place. So you've got to be smart out there. You've got to be savvy, haven't you?
You have. You've got to pick your moment. You can soon open yourself up to being passed up the inside while you're looking for that little bit of extra drive, moving a little wider on the track and just leaving the door open for your opposition. So, yeah, you've got to make sure that you've got that little bit of gap behind you before you get too brave.
So in regard to that, you know, after that first ride, everybody's going to be sort of reflecting on conditions. Changes will be made, won't they? Gearing, jetting, possibly ignition timing as well. It's a cool evening, the track is slick, bikes are producing loads of power. What do you think's gone on there? I suspect for riders like Woofenden who failed to score, surely they must have maybe reflected on that, maybe them have made a few tweaks to the equipment.
Yeah, it's confusing because, you know, you've had qualification, you've had 3 sessions, you've made your changes during those sessions, but it's daytime, you know, here, particularly in the forests around MALILLA, there's a lot of oxygen in the air. It's a damper night, that increases the oxygen levels as well. So carburation changes from qualifying to the race meeting, and yeah, you know, the line is so fine with the setups and getting the bike right that all that makes a difference.
Yeah, you just got to be able to make the right moves at the right time. So little time on track, of course, to prove yourself. And as we've seen in the first 4 races, after that first turn or the first lap, and then it tends to settle down, and overtaking has been difficult. So we'll wait and see. Here we see the track grading equipment just being taken away from the track. So not too much longer before heat number 5 will be with us. Bit of dirt being removed there. Didn't see too much dirt there, so they must have maybe dug in a bit. They may have just scraped it up a wee bit, actually, and that could just help a touch. So here we go then. Yeah, riders are now being released, and an important race here, particularly for Woofenden. He'll want to get on the score chart, having failed to score from gate number 3 in his first ride. And Woofenden clearly Cat's a frustrated character right now. All sorts of changes going on. It's been talked about an awful lot, but there's no doubt that Ty wants to finish with a big result this year.
Yes, he
Big night for him, of course. Start Marshall warning for Woofenden, of course, so he can ill afford to misbehave this time. So Craig Ackroyd, the referee, he's happy, green lights on. Bit of movement from Madsen, but they're away, and they go towards the first corner, and Madsen's made it out of gate 2. Terrific stuff from him. Out of that first corner, keep your eyes on Woofenden up the inside. Charges into second place. Smashing move from him, but Leon Madsen out of gate 2. What a start from him. Terrific. Jack Holder just not being able to take advantage of the inside gate. And a great move from Ty Woofenden early doors to come through into second place.
And Leon Madsen worked so hard to get his bike to the first turn there, he really did, and a great move coming from gate 4 for Ty Woofenden. It looks like he's carrying plenty of speed in this race. Ran a last in his first one, but he seems to be on the pace here. But Madsen just pulling a little bit of a gap now.
Conditions out in front for Leon Madsen, I would suggest, are perfect. This is a smooth, fast, reasonably slick track. They have worked hard. There's a bit more dirt appearing on the outside, and look at Madsen go. He's got speed in that motorbike tonight. And out of the last corner, Madsen wins nicely out in front, with Woofenden back in second place. Jack Holder there in third, but for Leon Madsen, got to say, with the pressure off, Madsen means business with 5 points from his first 2 outings. Great showing from the Danish rider so far. And saying to Bartosz Marslik, well, what can you do now, mate? Leon Madsen out in front, 3 points for him. Ty Woofenden back in second place, 2 points. Jack Holder in third, 1 point. And Janowski, after winning his first ride, fails to score in heat number 5. But Leon Madsen, great start and loads of speed.
Yeah, Leon Madsen doing all he can to keep the pressure on series leader Bartosz Marslik. Now, if we watch from the start, look, keep an eye on the rider in blue. He actually has a long pause, doesn't make the best jump. The bike seems to spin up, then he grabs a handful of clutch and he just works the bike to the corner and stops the run of Janowski, allowing certainly Woofenden up the inside and Jack Holder. Rough ride there on the first lap for Janowski, just left high and wide. No man's land at this point, but Leon Madsen just built up the momentum, pulled away from Ty Woofenden in second place. And tough first lap for Janowski.
It was indeed, and from that moment on, its race was almost run, but for Leon Madsen out in front, really going great guns, and if that lead wasn't 20 points, this championship would be on, you would suggest, but quite clearly a rider that is riding freely and without too much pressure, and he is producing, but I reiterate, these sort of conditions, Leon Madsen will revel in those, that's for sure. So here we go then, heat number 6. And we see Martin Vashlik on screen there, who was such a terrific winner first time out. Freddie Lindgren just being beaten up a wee bit in his first ride when Lambert charged underneath him and took no prisoners whatsoever. So the lineup for heat number 6 is Martin Vashlik on the inside in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Freddie Lindgren. Gate number 3 is Max Frick in white, and on the outside is Patrick Dudek in yellow. And 2 race winners here in gates 1 and 3. And Martin Vashlik, if he gets his trapping hand on, he could be quite a threat for this evening's Grand Prix. There's no doubt about that. Green light comes on now. Tapes her up and we're underway, but this time gate 2 with Freddie Lindgren. What a start from him. Gets himself to the front. Dudek on the outside. Wow, swoops around the outside of Lindgren. Brilliant move from Patrick Dudek to get himself to the front. Freddie Lindgren saying no way is Max Frick coming past him, and absolutely leaves him with no racing room at all. Martin Vashlik at this stage now having to work hard. He gets into third place. Tough lap of Speedway there for Max Frick, but for Patrick Dudek out in front, brilliant first corner, and he is flying out in front, and that outside line is beginning to work.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit more traction out there now, and Dudek high and wide up the banking, certainly making the bike work extremely well. Lindgren was a great start from him, but certainly Max Frick on that first lap was well and truly beaten up, stopped down the home straight by Freddie Lindgren, and then the same thing from Martin Vashlik on the back straight. But Dudek out front, looking good.
Dudek through that last corner, superb ride from him. He comes on strong once again. His Grand Prix form is rock solid. Polish fans here delighted with that. And a sensational ride there from Patrick Dudek. swooping round the outside. The track prep they did prior to this second block of races is proving to be good. And Dudek out in front, 3 points for him. Back in second place is Lindgren, 2 points. Martin Vasilik battling hard for one there, and Max Frick, unfortunately for him, he fails to score in heat number 6. And once again, this track beginning to produce the speedway that we have seen previously.
Yeah, riders finding it hard to find consistency in these heats. We've had Frick had a win in the last, we've had Dudek with a win in the last, Janoski with a win in the last, but Dudek making no mistake here, generating all that speed on the opening lap down the back straight, hits the front. And meanwhile, Max Frick is getting well and truly beaten up here, stopped by Freddie Lindgren. And then the same thing with Martin Vasilik on the very same lap, next straight. And no room there at the end, unfortunately, for Max Frick.
No, it was a tough race for Max Frick there, but he has got 3 points to his name already. But a great bounce back there for Patrick Dudek after a poor opening ride. And quite clearly from that outside gate, that run round that first corner suddenly has begun to work, and he rode wide and fast, and so quite clearly riders will be taking note of that. They couldn't do that in the first 4 races, but it appears that in the second block of heats it's beginning to develop very nicely indeed. So now we are heat number 7, and once again we will see Jason Doyle out here searching for a big night of speedway. On the inside is Pavel Shapelski in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Jason Doyle. Gate number 3 in white is Andrei Lebedev's. And Oliver Berntsen, the wild card, will go from the outside in yellow. And Oliver Berntsen is a rider that's had a smashing season, brilliant in the Speedway of Nations for Sweden he was, and will want to do really well tonight in front of a home crowd.
Yeah, he'll have a point to prove after his disappointing Grand-Prix season, and as you say, Speedway of Nations was the top individual scorer in that event.
He was indeed. So here we are then, heat number 7. Green light comes on. Oh, another long pause, and they go away from the start. That gate 2's working brilliantly, and Doyle's absolutely nailed it. Gets to the front, but look at Berntsen. Berntsen now comes off that banking in turn 2. Fast himself up the inside. Doyle around the outside. Has no answers at this stage. What a move from Oliver Berntsen. Got to say that was a textbook move there, right out wide. Look at this track now. They're beginning to experiment, but Jason Doyle there just taken by surprise. Berntsen out in front. Doyle giving chase back in second place. Andrei Lebedev's in third with Pavel Shapelski out the back, but Doyle's going to come on strong here. Berntsen out in front, being chased hard.
Yeah, Jason Doyle will be asking himself, what has he got to do to stay in front? Seemed to have done everything right on the first turn. Perhaps his only mistake, not moving wide enough in the first turn, or sticking right on the inside. Found himself in no man's land, but I tell you what, he's cruising down the back straight. He's coming in off the dirt. Just can't seem to generate enough speed.
Berntsen won nicely there. Brilliant race from him. Delights the home crowd. And I've got to say, Doyle threw everything at him, but Berntsen had the answers that time. Superb move early on. We've seen it earlier on this evening as well, where riders are able to generate so much speed down that back straight on the opening lap. And Oliver Berntsen picks up a fine win there. 3 points for him. Jason Doyle back in second place, 2 points. Andrei Lebedev in third, 1 for him. And Pavel Shapelski misses out in heat number 7. But for Oliver Berntsen, he'll be chuffed to bits with that. That was a really encouraging ride from him.
It was an encouraging ride. We saw his great form in Voyant for the Speedway of Nations, and showing us again what he's capable of here, coming from the outside. Jason Doyle makes a cracking start, just stops the run into the corner there of Shapelski, moves out to the dirt line, maybe a little bit too late. I don't know what more he could have done there really, other than stuck it around the inside, which would have opened the door on the outside line for Oliver Berntsen. But Berntsen just quicker, you've got to say, just in that race that little bit faster.
Yeah, and he was in the right place at the right time, that's for sure. And as hard as Jason Doyle tried, and you can see the focus and concentration on Doyle's eyes there, almost popping out of his head. He was trying that hard, and wasn't quite, but a solid start for the Australian with 4 points from his opening 2 rides. So looking for his first win of the evening. Heat number 8 then is with us, and that will complete the second block of races, and it will begin to take shape on the point scores and the qualifying heats, of course. We'll keep a close eye on exactly what's happening with the World Championship. Too early to call right now, but there's no doubt that Leon Madsen has made a terrific start to the evening with 5 points so far. Dan Bewley will go from the inside in red. Bartosz Zmarzlik will go alongside him in blue in gate number 2. Gate number 3 in white is Robert Lambert, and gate number 4 in yellow is Mads Hansen. And I've got to say, Lambert, who was spectacular in his first ride, certainly a rider that seems to be gaining in confidence and is really relishing the challenge of Grand Prix.
There he is. He's really maturing into a good rider. His starts have been a lot more consistent than the last couple of Grand Prix. Dan Bewley, difficult opening ride for him. Last place, 7 heats since he came out for his first ride.
Yeah, long wait for him. So here we are, heat number 8, and we're underway. Gate number 2, absolutely, once again, with Zmarzlik nailing it, hugging the inside through the first corner. Yeah, Lambert round the outside gets the better of Dan Bewley, who slips back into 3rd place. Look at Lambert now, up the inside of the championship leader. What a move from him, but Zmarzlik responds, repays the compliment superbly well there, had to do it. Since if it had gone on any longer, Lambert would have been able to pull away. But certainly he was smart there. Zmarzlik taken by surprise, but responded so well and has already begun to pull away out in front. So Zmarzlik, the championship leader, under pressure from Madsen with 2 solid rides so far, looking good. Lambert back in 2nd place.
How quick was Zmarzlik to respond to that move from Lambert. As you rightly say, he had to make the pass back immediately, because if Lambert settles into his race, settles into his pace, he's a very difficult man to catch.
Zmarzlik wins then, being chased home by Robert Lambert, smashing Speedway there in heat number 8. Dan Bewley missing out, not enjoying a great night so far, but for Zmarzlik showing great credentials there. That's what winning championships is all about, when your nearest rival is really coming on strong in the early part of the evening. Zmarzlik out in front, 3 points for him. Robert Lambert back in 2nd place, 2 points. Dan Bewley picks up his 1st point of the night with a 3rd place there. And Mads Hansen coming through and missing out his 4th place in heat number 8. And I've got to say that Zmarzlik once again beginning to produce the sort of stuff we're accustomed to seeing. So 5 points for Madsen, Zmarzlik and Lambert. Martin Vaslik on 4. Oliver Berntsson on 4 as well. Jason Doyle on 4. 8 races gone, plenty to come.
That's the result of heat number 8.
Oh, how about a spark of inspiration? Oops! Let's get this thing rolling. Ta-da! Try that on for size. Yeah! Level up in Forge of Empires. Play now for free at FOE.tv or download the app.
Download the new FIM Speedway app and be part of a new era. Follow closely all the action with timing, results and telemetric data for an enhanced live experience. Get all the latest news and stats on your favourite riders in the Speedway GP World Title Race. Take your FIM Speedway experience to the next level.
Don't let erectile dysfunction make you impotent. Do something about erectile dysfunction. Clinically proven, discreetly delivered. Order today at Newman.com.
When you really need a new pair of glasses, it's just not worth waiting. Get your new specs the very next day with Select Specs Express. Prescription glasses made in the UK and guaranteed delivered to your door the very next day from just £29.95. Frames, lenses and next-day delivery all included from just £29.95 at selectspecs.com/express.
What you waiting for?
Today looks bright with a good chance of getting stuff done.
Tomorrow begins today with NatWest.
And here she
That'll do.
In Yorkshire, when we say that'll do, it means it'll more than do. Fast, reliable broadband, award-winning customer service for a great price. That'll do.
Full fibre now available too. Search PlusNet Fibre now.
Oh, you're not going to believe this, Mo. You've won.
What?
Come on! My ticket!
The wind's got Mo's lottery ticket!
The National Lottery.
The cheesy bacon flatbread, irresistible beechwood smoked bacon and melted cheese. Breakfast done properly.
So track improving, Chris, and the racing as a consequence has also improved.
Yeah, it has. We're seeing a dirt line just building up now, particularly on turns 1 and 2, that seems to be working for the lads, so they're able to drift up to it and use it, or make the cut back and run down the banking. So, yeah, the track's coming to us. I think we're going to see some great racing later on.
So let's get some more action now. Scotty Nichols is down there, and he's joined by Ty Wolfenden.
Yeah, Ty Wolfenden joins me. Ty, tough first race, but looked a lot better in your second race, almost there.
Yeah, we did something different in qualifying earlier on this afternoon, and we put down a good time, and then we changed some setups for the next two, and it wasn't as good, and then you kind of look back and go, oh, well, that was the fastest time, so I should probably use that during the meeting, not bearing in mind that there's 4 other guys on the track and you've got to turn a little bit harder. So we changed the setup after the first race. It was better, still chasing a bit more, and definitely need some more points.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? See the boys working hard on the bike now. Is it right at this moment where you see the track kind of changing quite a lot? So Madsen was able to ride that high-wide line. Is it where you feel the boys have to make quite significant changes to the bikes now?
Maybe not significant, just probably something small with the ignition or jetting, just to give it a bit more revs when you touch the dirt. But anyway, we need to get out the start, and so far we haven't made one, so we'll focus on that first.
Well, you've got a few more attempts, so I wish you best of luck, mate. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Good to hear from Ty. He's out in heat number 11, and he's got that favoured gate number 2 that time, so he'll be looking for an opportunity to win his first race of the night, so he can really build up towards the semi-final. Great to see Tony Ricardson here, of course, the ambassador for Discovery Sports events, and very much involved behind the scenes as well. It's not just a role that he plays by just turning up and chatting to us. He has plenty of responsibilities, working on the youth development, actually, and will be interesting to see how that transpires in the future. Plenty of new ideas coming forward with the new era of Speedway. Bartosz Marslik now just preparing himself for his third ride of the night, which will see him also go head-to-head with Ty Wolfenden in Heat 11. But prior to that, we've got Heat number 9 to focus on, where we'll see Leon Madsen. And Madsen won't want to be looking at the gate stats too much, because he's out of gate 3 and no winners from there. But I must say, the speed he's got this evening, it wouldn't surprise me that he's amongst the points.
No, absolutely. He's able to pass, so he can do it from the back. Gate 3, I think it was Ty Wolfenden earlier that didn't make a bad start from gate 3, ended up running a last, just got beat up on the first turn. So you've got to be smart in the first turn to get from gate 3.
Indeed you have. So at the moment, it's just going along nicely in regards to the World Championship. Nothing too much to report on that score. There's been no slip-ups, no major drama in that stake. So at the moment, we're focusing on heat by heat and get through these qualifiers to see exactly how it pans out. Of course, with the point scoring system now, World Championship points are allocated once the qualifying has been completed for the bottom 8, and then the top 8 will be allocated their points as and when their evening is finished. So it may well go right down to the final tonight, but if Bartosz Marslik beats Madsen this evening, then Marslik will be crowned world champion for 2022. But plenty of racing to go before we get to that stage, and it's heat number 9 first for us now. And Mads Hansen there, of course, having scored a point already earlier on. He's up at Tapes again. So we got Patrick Dudek, a good win last time, coming out of gate number 1 in red. Mads Hansen in blue out of gate 2. Leon Madsen out of gate number 3 in white. And Pavel Shapelski will go from the outside in yellow. And as we saw on those gate stats just a few moments ago, no wins from gate 3. Seems to be quite tough. We've got a freshly prepared track. He chose the draw for number 1, so he understands what he is going to be facing right now.
Yes, he does. And Mads Hansen's coming off that favoured gate number 2. He's been on the pace, just a 1 point to his name, but he's certainly been on the pace.
No, he hasn't disgraced himself at all.
If he can make a start, you'd expect him to hang in there.
Absolutely right. But as I say, a lot of focus on Leon Madsen right now. Heat number 9, Start Marshall is happy, walks away. The light is on, tapes up, and we're away. And Mads Hansen has made that gate 2 work. There is something special about that piece of track, that's for sure. Hugs the inside, Dudek through into 3rd place. Leon Madsen now charging, roaring high and wide in the turns 3 and 4. Look at Madsen go! Oh, he's generating speed here. Mads Hansen probably can't even see him. He's in a different county. But Leon Madsen's made it work brilliantly. What a ride that is. Took the chance to ride high and wide, and it's paid big dividends.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable opening lap from Madsen. He just didn't deviate from his efforts there, just off the outside. Just running into the corner in the dirt, all the way around the dirt line. He's going wider than anybody's been all night. I would imagine he's got quite a brave setup on that bike to be taking that sort of distance. But look at the gap he's pulling now.
Madsen out in front, absolutely jet-propelled here in Heat 9. Charging round the air fence and wins at a canter. What a ride from Leon Madsen when Mads Hansen had it all under control out of gate 2 initially. The first winner out of gate 3 tonight. Leon Madsen moving on to 8 points from his first 3 rides. And you've got to say that the form of Leon Madsen here this evening is sparkling. Absolutely top draw stuff from him so far. Leon Madsen winning in fine style, 3 points for him. Mads Hansen, his compatriot, back in 2nd place, 2 points. Patrick Dudek working hard for his 1 point, 3rd place, and Pavel Shapelski missing out, but he took the chance, he had the setup, and he had the bravery just to commit to the outside here.
Yeah, what a convincing win for Leon Madsen. Had the worst gate position, gate number 3. No race winners before this race from there. Just moved straight to the outside. Brave move considering the track has just been regraded, but they haven't been pulling the dirt down, which I like to see, allows the track to develop. And he just stays out there. He just plucks off Shapelski first, then Dudek on the very next straight, and stays out there. He knows now that the bike is working so well. He's got confidence in his machinery just to stay out wide. And Mads Hansen would have had no idea where Leon Madsen was coming from. Wouldn't have even been aware he was there. He wouldn't have even been able to hear him, I don't think, how wide he was.
Oh, absolutely right. As I say, he was almost in a different county. But that score chart reads very nicely indeed. Just dropped the 1 point in his first ride, but since then he really has been absolutely fabulous. So going along very nicely is Leon Madsen, enjoying himself, and rightly so. So now we see heat number 10, and Robert Lambert out once again, who's doing a fine job so far this evening. Lambert, of course, is certainly has been setting the world on fire. He's only dropped a point so far in his first 2 rides. So Robert Lambert will go from the inside in red. Alongside him in blue is Matsej Janowski, who missed out last time. Jason Doyle with 2 solid 2nd places comes out of gate number 3 in white. And Max Frick, who's had an up and down night so far, who got beaten up last time, will be looking to get amongst the points once again here in heat number 10. Matsej Janowski on that favoured gate number 2, looking to respond, but he's got somebody right alongside him in Robert Lambert, who's going great gun. So here we go then, heat number 10, tapes up. Lambert's made a good start, but that run to the first corner, certainly all about gate 2, but Lambert turns the bike hard, but with Janowski up on the banking, he makes it work, fires himself to the front. Lambert back in 2nd place, Doyle's gone too wide and allowing Max Frick through into 3rd place, but Janowski, who failed to score last time, this is more like it. High and wide, very much like Leon Madsen was doing in the previous race, and looking set for another win here. But no harm really done for Robert Robert Lambert, who's going along very nicely in second place.
Yeah, Lambert would move on to 7 points here. Janowski clearly watching heat number 9 with the move from Madsen, because he only had one idea in the first turn, and that was just to get into the dirt line as quickly as he could. Stopped Jason Doyle being able to do that and cruised around the outside. Definitely the place to be right now.
So down the back straight for the last time. Maciej Janowski, silky smooth style from the Polish rider. Smashing ride from him. Lambert has kept him right up to his work, to the checkered flag. Finishes in second place, but Maciej Janowski, such a popular rider. Super nice guy too. And good to see him winning races tonight. That's his second heat win of the evening, so delighting the home crowd here. He's a fan favourite, of course. This is his home club in Sweden. Janowski out in front, 3 points. Robert Lambert back in second place, 2 points. Doyle back in third, 1. And Max Frick, for the second time this evening, fails to score. But for Maciej Janowski, a handy win for him there, Chris.
Yeah, it takes the pressure off a little bit after 3 rides, moves him on to 6 points. We can see from the start, a little bit scrappy there from Robert Lambert. Bike launches, gets himself in a bit of a muddle, but Maciej Janowski just went straight for the dirt line. He'd clearly been watching Leon Madsen in the race before, and Robert Lambert had no answer to that. Jason Doyle perhaps had the opportunity from gate 3, but just spinning a little bit too much to get himself there ahead of Maciej Janowski. And, well, Janowski doesn't look back, doubles his score to 6 points.
Yeah, nice ride that, and as I say, doubling his score. All of a sudden his Grand Prix is looking good. 2 rides to come with a gate 4 and a gate 1, so must be confident of making the semi-finals at the very least. And when we see Janowski ride like that, it does make you puzzle over why he has meetings where...
doesn't it?
Yeah, it does rather, but there we are. So this is a really big race now, of course, with Leon Madsen going along so nicely, with Zmarzlik out here on the inside gate. Once again, it's going to flip-flop all night. We will see the top 2 in the world go head-to-head in Heat 17. But Heat 11 then is Zmarzlik on the inside in red. Ty Woofenden comes out of gate number 2 in blue. Oliver Berntsson will come away from gate number 3 in white. And Martin Vaclik, with 4 points, will go from the outside in yellow. Big race this for Ty Woofenden if he really wants to get involved in the Grand Prix. But likewise for the World Championship leader, Bartosz Zmarzlik. Going along nicely, but got to say, Leon Madsen is keeping him very concentrated.
Yeah, 2 wins on the bounce for Leon Madsen. He's definitely keeping the pressure on Zmarzlik for as long as he can, but you can guarantee that Bartosz Zmarzlik's going to want to take the pressure off before Torren.
If he can, he wants to do it here this evening, no doubt about it. Heat number 11 then. They're away, roaring into the first corner wall. Zmarzlik gave Ty Woofenden a real thump as they went into the first turn. Martin Vaclik capitalises on the clash going into the first corner. Oliver Berntsson in the middle of the track, and Zmarzlik has recovered brilliantly there to come through into second place. But here's Woofenden on the scene again as well. Zmarzlik just about hanging on, but Woofenden up the inside. Brilliant ride from him. Can Zmarzlik now chop back to the inside? Straight line the corner off. Going to be tight going into turn 1. Zmarzlik's there again. Brilliant race for second place, but Vaclik responding brilliantly is away at the front.
Yeah, race of the night, absolutely cracking stuff. And Zmarzlik certainly woken up Ty Woofenden, but Ty's got no answer for him. As Oliver Berntsson now putting Ty Woofenden under pressure for the minor points. But Martin Vaclik certainly making the most of that opening couple of laps.
Brilliant ride from Martin. He was able to keep out of the trouble in the first corner and picks up another win on the night. And Vaclik, after a stunning first ride and then having a tough one second time out, moves on to 7 points. Bartosz Zmarzlik then just apologising to Ty Woofenden there with that argy-bargy on the way to the first corner. But Martin Vaclik picks up a valuable 3 points there. Bartosz Zmarzlik working overtime for 2 points. Ty Woofenden there hanging on for third place in the end, 1 point. And the wild card, Oliver Berntsson, failing to score in heat number 11. We thought it might be pretty tasty, and as it turned out, it was, Chris.
Yeah, the fireworks coming from the inside gates, a proper old-school scrap on the way to the first turn. Now, look out for the rider in red here. Zmarzlik coming off gate 1, Ty Woofenden off gate 2. On the way to the corner, elbows out. I think Zmarzlik does pick up perhaps a little more grip than he expected just before the corner. Just there, you can see the bikes pulling. Gives Ty Wolfenden a good nudge, but Martin Vasilek making the most of the boys clashing into each other. There, you can see their elbows out, that's for sure. Zmarzlik didn't want to concede that, I've got to be honest. I think he was just being a little bit tough there. But certainly fired up Ty Wolfenden for a lap there, coming back up the inside. But once again, Zmarzlik always ready for the reaction. He knows exactly what to do, makes the cut back up the inside. Ty Wolfenden just moving across the track a little bit, but congratulations for Martin Vasilek's second win of the night.
Yeah, he wasn't in the action, was he? All the fireworks, as you say, were going on behind him, but 7 points for Martin, and that win really does consolidate his position in this Grand Prix, and he's going along really nicely indeed. So heat number 12 then, and that will see the completion of the third block of races here this evening, and the racing is warming up very nicely indeed. And Zmarzlik's having to work hard. He's not being given it at all. He's having to really dig in, and he's showing great resolve. And he's moving along okay. So Jack Holder's on the inside in red here. Gate number 2 in blue is Dan Bewley. Freddie Lingman comes out of gate number 3 in white, and off the outside is Andrei Lebedev's in yellow. Dan Bewley, 1 point to his name. Needs a win now, Chris.
He does, yeah, absolutely. We've seen him come good at the end of meetings, particularly in the semi-finals and finals, but we've seen him just scrape into those and then take the win. So certainly saw it in Wrocław.
So here we go then, Dan Bewley off that favoured gate number 2, needs to make it work now with Dudek going along pretty well. Bewley just 1 point from his 2 outings so far. Tapes up, we're underway. He's made a good start, but Freddie Lingman's made a better one. Oh, a bit of a clash there with Jack Holder. Nothing to choose between 4 riders. Bewley's been relegated to the back with Lingman coming, roaring round the outside there. What a great move from Freddie. Jack Holder now up the inside. Moves into second place with Lebedev's into third place, and Bewley once again just found himself in no man's land. Great battle out in front. Freddie Lingman having to be aware of Jack Holder really working hard on the inside, but for Freddie Lingman, this is just what he needed.
Just what he needed. Dan Bewley looking like he's suffering from wheel spin, certainly from the start. Jack Holder really putting pressure now on Freddie Lindgren's got the bike hooking up. He's looking for a way up the inside. I tell you what, if Freddie Lindgren gives him an inch, he's going to take it.
Freddie Lingman now having to ride defensively on this last lap. Jack Holder now, one last chance through this last corner. Lingman holding the inside, he's got it. Lebedev's coming through at the death there with Jack Holder moving off the line. Oh, you got to feel for Jack Holder. Possibly the fastest man on track there, but got relegated to the back. Such a frustrating time when that happens. But for Fredrik Lingman, though, terrific ride from him. And once again, we're seeing that determination from the Swedish man. Lindgren out in front, 3 points for him. And Lebedev's coming through at the end there, 2 points. Jack Holder relegated back to third place, and Dan Bewley failing to score. So it's taking shape now, that's for sure. And Dan Bewley is just slipping up here this evening with Patrick Dudek really hunting him down. There's the standings after each rider has completed 3 rides. 8 points for Madsen, Martin Vasilek, Zmarzlik, Lambert on 7, Janowski 6, Lindgren on 6, and Jason Doyle on 5, Patrick Dudek on 4. 2 more qualifying rides each, not too far away. Speedway here this evening.
Oh, how about a spark of inspiration? Oops! Let's get this thing rolling. Ta-da! Try that on for size. Yeah! Level up in Forge of Empires. Play now for free at FOE.tv or download the app.
let you decide, let you go right ahead. Working our dreams, what you gonna do next? This is what we do best. Let us dive into the night, going fight it for my eyes, I can't deny it.
I'm putting together the greatest team ever.
This is the beginning of something great.
I object!
Now I'm really gonna have some fun.
Welcome to 7 Days, where every week we give away more than £250,000 worth of prizes,
including cars like this, bikes, tech and cash.
Every draw is limited to a set number of tickets, so you can see just how good your odds are. And there's a guaranteed winner for every draw, even if we don't sell out. We've already given away over £30 million in prizes. Our next live draw is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Tickets are limited, so don't miss out. Go to 7days.co.uk now.
The Burger King Whopper. 100% British and Irish beef with an affection for flame. Only at Burger King.
At Lloyds Bank, we will always be by your side.
Swedish fans there waving their flags. It's a rich history, of course, of Speedway in this part of the world, and when you've had riders like the quality of Tony Rickardsson, Per Jonsson, Anders Michenek back in the day, there's plenty of some superb riders. So we can get some more reaction now from Maciej Janowski. He's going to be joining Scotty Nichols.
Maciej Janowski, great last ride there, good win, showing your love for the track.
Yes, you know, I spent on this track a lot of time, so we have good setup, what we probably use always here. Bike working very good. One mistake in the heat, in my second heat, but so far so good.
Yeah, it's very tough. I think everybody will be dropping points tonight. It's a very close field. Like you said, you race here in the league. Do you feel that gives you a little advantage?
I have to say you have great riders over here, but probably yes. Maybe I make the most laps over here, so. But we don't think about that. Still looking for something better, faster. We will see where this will take us.
It's been a bit of a roller coaster season. You just said there, searching for that little bit more speed. Is that where you feel it's lacking? You're just feeling you're lacking a little something with the equipment?
I believe I have best equipment, you know. I cannot blame my bikes. Maybe was something wrong with me, but I feel good today.
I'm glad you feel good. You've finished third here in 2019, so a strong end to the season for you.
Yes, we still have a couple of heats to the end of the night, so I would like to be in the last heat.
Well, so hope to see you on that podium. Good luck for the rest of the night.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to see Maciej Janowski, and a positive interview there with Scott Nichols. And as I say, I think everybody in the Speedway world would be pleased to see him firing on all cylinders. There's no doubt about that. He is such an eye-catching rider, and it's always disappointing when he has a tough night. Get involved with the FIM Speedway app. The best place to get all the results and the news and keep right up to date with what's going on. So now just a small pause while we wait for the racing to get underway again. Heat 13 is for us next with Leon Madsen out. And it's going to be interesting here because he's going from the outside, and there's a couple of riders in here that are going along rather nicely, in Martin Vashlik and Robert Lambert, Chris. So Leon Madsen clearly has plenty of speed, but Martin Vashlik and Robert Lambert are two strong competitors tonight.
Yeah, they are, and plenty of race wins in this heat so far tonight, with Martin Vashlik having a couple, Madsen having a couple, Lambert opening up with a race win. So, yeah, competitive looking lineup. This one, that's for sure. Madsen back-to-back race wins. Certainly that last one when he was winding it up around the outside, high and wide. Didn't half look fast.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a surprise to see him do it again. Obviously, he's coming out after each track raid this evening, so he's got the outside gate this time. So he may elect to do something very similar once again. It'll be interesting to see how the boys on the middle two starts respond to that. Track raiding on. A little bit of water down as well. Andrei Lebedev's coming through there at last gasp, rushed into second place, quite possibly his best race in the Grand-Prix campaign this year. So an encouraging signs there for the Latvian rider. So 3 rides each have been completed, so it's really beginning to take shape now. It's tough to be consistent, but this man so far, Madsen, has been the top man. He leads the Grand-Prix after 3 races each. So he's doing a great job, and as I say, it's keeping Bartosz Zmarzlik waiting to pick up that 3rd World Championship. Most of us believe that Zmarzlik is going to do it, but there's no doubt that Leon Madsen riding superbly well tonight. So here we go then. Andrei Lebedev's off the inside in red. Robert Lambert going out of gate number 2 in blue. Martin Vashlik will come out of gate number 3 in white. And Leon Madsen going from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. A little bit of water there. You can see it glistening on the surface.
Yeah, you can. The inside line looks like it's going to be quite slick. I think certainly in the first turn, everyone will be clamouring for the dirt on the outside.
Heat 13 then. Here we go. Leon Madsen just taking his time coming forward. He's ready now. He's right up against the safety fence. Possibly a bit more grip there. Looking for the best possible getaway. A bit of movement once again from Madsen. He's looked across straight away. He missed it, actually. Lebedev's made a smashing start on the inside, and it's the Latvian rider once again powering away, looking good out in front. Martin Vashlik, oh, it's greasy. He almost turns the bike inside out. Here comes Lambert up the inside. Madsen also in the thick of the action as well, coming through, possibly into second place. Let's just keep an eye on him with Lebedev's down the inside, hanging on there right now. Track conditions have changed here. A little bit greasy, bit of dirt flying around, but Madsen working hard on the outside. Now finally comes through into second place, but for Martin Vashlik, terrific speedway from him again.
Yes, it took a couple of laps for both Vashlik and Madsen to work that outside. Madsen's gone very wide again. That's allowed Lebedev's up the inside. He's been cruising around the inside all night, just picking riders off on the last lap or so, but Madsen, I think, possibly clamping him down now, had all the work to do on the first couple of laps. And Madsen is covered in slime, but he's happy with 2 points.
Martin Vashlik, another race win for him. Superb stuff from the Slovakian rider. Back from injury, missed Cardiff, of course, which was really tough for him. But he has responded this evening superbly well. That's his 3rd race win of the night. And Martin Vashlik doing fine work here this evening. Vashlik out in front, 3 points. Leon Madsen working hard for 2 points there. Andrei Lebedev's in the points once again. And Robert Lambert, surprisingly, having been in the points in his first 3 rides, misses out. But conditions were a touch greasy there, and you had to be in the right place here.
Yes, you did. Yeah, it was all about the opening couple of laps. With the water down on the inside, the riders on the outside were able to work the track, build up that momentum, and find their way through the traffic. But opening lap, Lebedev's on the inside there. A little bit of contact with Martin Vashlik. Probably did him a favour because Vashlik's now gone wider than perhaps he anticipated. But we can see there on turns 3 and 4, Vashlik just backs it in on the outside. I thought his race may be run at that point, but he just generates so much speed down the home straight to take 3 points. Madsen following through. A little harder work for Madsen. Maybe just differential in weight there. He's not carrying quite as much weight and not able to get the back wheel going forward as well as Vasilik, but great rides on the outside for both of them.
Yeah, super stuff there, and Martin Vasilik really is showing great form here this evening with 10 points and comfortably through to the semi-finals already, so quite clearly very relaxed and enjoying his night's work so far. So terrific stuff with one race to come. You'll see him in heat number 20. So here we see it. Madsen's just dropped his second point of the evening, and we've got the championship leader out in heat 14, and he'll be going out of the gate number 3 position. So once again, Smarslik always having to play catch-up here tonight. Not ideal for him. Max Frick on the inside in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Jack Holder. Gate 3 in white is Bartosz Smarslik, and off the outside is Pavel Szepelski. And there's no doubt that Szepelski, after a fine start tonight, has just drifted out of it. But all eyes once again on the championship leader, Leon Madsen, moving along very nicely. Smarslik having to work hard for points tonight. Here we go then, heat 14. Tapes her up and we're away. Roaring into the first corner, and it's Jack Holder with Max Frick on the inside. Smarslik's gone very, very wide, trusting that he's going to have the speed. Here he comes, roaring round the outside. Holder on the inside, he's vulnerable. Smarslik's to the front. Brilliant ride from Smarslik. Once again, that outside line, if you really commit to it, you can make it work. Holder now trying to do the same, but he's vulnerable with Max Frick. Oh, big crash! Yeah, big crash. And third with Szepelski running in the back of Max Frick. Nasty looking crash.
Nasty looking crash. Both riders look like going down hard on their shoulders. Common Speedway injury, collarbones and shoulders, and yeah, high speed. Looks like Szepelski just got it all wrong going into turn 3 on the second lap there. And wow, we hope they're both going to be able to get up from that one.
We do indeed. It was awkward looking spill with Max Frick trying to close the door, and Szepelski carrying loads and loads of speed and just could not avoid him. And as a consequence, they came together. Frustration, of course, for Smarslik because he was away and the 3 points were looking pretty safe for him. But almost certainly we will see a rerun here. But for Jack Holder, an opportunity to try and get his nose in front. But for these men, these are the challenges that come along at these moments. You know, everybody talking about he's got one hand on the trophy, including me, actually. But nonetheless, there's always a twist and turn along the way.
There is in Speedway, yeah. You know, we all believe it's a waiting game for Smarslik to be handed the gold medal. But got to say, Leon Madsen doing absolutely everything he can. Sitting on 10 points at the moment. It's keeping the pressure on Smarslik.
He is indeed, and Smarslik having to respond. Not always ideal having to come out after your main or your nearest rival, particularly when that rival is going along very nicely. So with Smarslik out here for another rerun, sitting comfortably on 7 points, but nonetheless he will want to make sure that he can secure his semi-final place here in this race with a win, and then all of a sudden it could well be a shootout in the semi-finals to clinch the World Championship, or will it go to the final? It could very well do. So good to see Pavel Szepelski on his feet. Clearly a heavy blow for him. We're not quite sure what the position is with Max Frick, but we'll take another look at it now.
Yeah, Max Frick in red, just entering the corner behind Jack Holder. Big entry to the corner up the inside. For me, that's just a misjudgment from Szepelski. He just misjudges the amount of speed he's got, the moment that Max Frick's going to turn. Max now making his entry into the corner. Absolutely no way to stop for Szepelski. Simple misjudgment, really, of the speed he was carrying.
Oh, Frick's been slammed into the track there, big time.
You can't scrub your speed off coming into this turn 3 at MALILLA. It's a little bit downhill, and it's very difficult to lose speed, but he goes straight down.
Oh,
and he's with the bikes.
And we're hearing that Pavel Szepelski is excluded from the race.
Yeah, no question about that.
That was a clear mistake from him, but just watch Szepelski's bike just slam into Frick there as well. That's very uncomfortable. Szepelski's up and about, but excluded. But let's get some reaction quickly now with Scotty Nichols. Leon Madsen is with him.
Yeah, Leon Madsen joined to take advantage of the fact we don't normally get to chat to you because you're off the gradient break, but looking very fast out there tonight, Leon.
Yeah, so far so good. We found some good speed on my bike, and yeah, I'm very happy after the first 4 races.
I know you keep saying about 2023, but you must be piling the pressure on the guy next door to you.
No, I'm not thinking about Bartek, you know, I'm thinking about my own race and try optimize everything we can to be better, you know. That's what we need to be to beat him next year. And yeah, I think that we try to be better on those tracks where I haven't performed very well in the past, and last year it went well in too well in Voyens and also here in MALILLA, and last time in Voyens was good, and today so far is also good here. So
just talking about the track tonight, it's getting cold now and they put a little bit of water on. Are the conditions changing much?
I think in the last one, because it's getting more cold now, it was a little bit too greasy with the water, and so it did change a little bit, but I think overall the track have been quite good. It's been possible to overtake, and yeah, it's nice. It's just nice to be racing on a proper racing track.
It is nice. It's nice to see the boys enjoying it. I'll let you get back to concentrating on your team, and have a good one.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, good work from Leon Madsen so far, and he said that once or twice this year about track conditions and being able to really have a go. So there's no doubt that he's enjoying himself. He's right, his performance here last year was not particularly good. I think he only scored 3 points, and so a massive improvement so far. Martin Baslik having a chat with Bartosz Szmalzik there, of course. They have been teammates at Gorzów for some considerable time, although Bartosz is now leaving Gorzów and has signed a contract to ride in Lublin in 2023, which was quite a big shock, actually, because for so long I thought that he'd never move away from Gorzów, being a hometown boy.
Yeah, the biggest news coming from Poland for quite some time, I think. Shocking move that nobody could foresee. But yeah, just listening to Leon Madsen there, he does often talk about the tracks, and he's referring to the one-off tracks that he doesn't particularly like. But you've got to be able to ride them all. That's the interest of the series. You've got to be able to adapt to them all. But he's working hard with one eye on 2023, and whatever he's doing with Brian Cargo and his team is definitely working. He's had a 4th, a 2nd and a 3rd in the last 3 rounds. So if he could have found that form just a little bit earlier, you've got to say even 1 round earlier, he would be putting serious pressure on Bartosz.
Yeah, absolutely right, and he did it previously in 2019, of course, where he hunted Szmalzik down, and Szmalzik had to pull everything out of the bag to win the championship just by 2 points. Paweł Szapelski, who is excluded, clearly feeling the effects. We haven't really seen Max Frick, and there's got to be some concern for Max. I do hope he's okay. We haven't seen any pictures from him, because obviously he felt the full force of that mistake from Paweł going into turn number 3. Yeah, a few war wounds there, no doubt about that, and is feeling pretty knocked about, and no surprise, because as you rightly say, Chris, it's very fast at the end of that back straight. Can't kill your speed. The track was a little greasy, and even though he had turned the bike, there was no way he was going to be able to scrub his speed off.
No, I think there was 2 problems with that. One is he was maybe a little too narrow down the straight, so he's got to turn that much harder to get into the corner. I think he completely misjudged when Max would come back off the fence and turn into the corner. So, yeah, just a catalogue of mistakes from Szapelski.
Yeah, tough one,
no intent, you know, he's just racing.
Yeah.
Just bad judgment.
He could... So that we will see a rerun with 3 riders, but I can understand it because you see that big gap,
opening gap,
big gap down the inside of the straight, and the bike's pulling, and you've got some drive, and you think, oh, I might just get there. I'm through here, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. So he will not be in the rerun. Good to see that Max Frick's bike was up there. Looking at Jason Doyle, who's going along okay at this stage. Needs a race win, I would suggest, for him to really feel a bit more confident about the semis.
Comes off gate 4 in heat 16. It's a very tough race with Wuppernden, Dudek, Bewley.
Yeah, but I'm sure that he'll be up to the task if he can, but you're right, it's a tough one. Just looking at the clutch pressure plate going back on there with looks like some fresh clutch plates going in to the bike there. We are getting some information now that Frick is actually in the medical centre just having a check over, which is no surprise at all, because quite clearly when you saw the replay of the crash, he did take the full brunt of it.
He did, yeah. He got slammed down face first, and it looked like his neck maybe took a little bit of a hammering, and yeah, he's certainly going to be winded. He's going to be sore, that's for sure.
So we are... Race director Phil Morris will give Max Frick all the time he thinks is appropriate, but the meeting will have to get underway reasonably soon, so it won't be an indefinite pause. I'm sure it will be more of a case to make sure that he's okay, but...
Not sure I want to watch this again. Yeah, you can see up the inside, look, it's very narrow on the track. Max doesn't do anything wrong, turns in, usual line. And, yeah, face first, gets collected. He's actually on top of his own bike as he hits the fence, and then he takes the force of Szapelski's as well, just for a double whammy. And both these guys will be feeling sore, that's for sure. Hopefully Max will be able to leave the medical room, get back on his bike, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him pulling out.
No, that's a tough one, and I tend to agree. I think it would be a surprise to see him continue on.
Yeah,
and even if he does, 2 minutes are on, so we will see very shortly whether Max Frick is at tapes. Brilliant, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, that is superb. When you saw those slow-mos, by golly, he went down hard. So great to see him up and about. Probably just a precautionary check by the medical staff here, which is right.
Yeah,
absolutely right. So riders' safety and precautions taken. So there we go. So 3 riders only this time for the restaging of Heat 14. Jack Holder, Bartosz Szmarzyk. So the lineup once again is Max Frick on the inside in red. Jack Holder will come out of gate number 2 in blue. Bartosz Szmarzyk is in gate number 3 in white, and no rider with Paweł Szapelski excluded from gate 4. Slightly easier task here for Bartosz Szmarzyk, with a point guaranteed, but he'll be looking for 3.
Yeah, also, I mean, gate 3 hasn't been the best gate tonight, and he's now got a clear run to the dirt line with nobody on the outside of him, nobody to worry about there, so he can run out with confidence and early if he needs to.
So here we go then, second time of asking for Heat 14, and we're underway, and Jack Holder's made a great start out of gate 2. Szmarzyk going high and wide, running down the back straight with Holder now holding out in front, electing to go very tight indeed. Szmarzyk winding it on around the outside. Here he comes, producing more and more speed. Holder knows he's there, but he's now in no man's land, and that might prove to be a problem, but actually just killing the momentum of the championship leader, electing to ride wide still. Here he comes this time. He's going to make it work. Fires himself to the front. You could see it coming, Chris.
You could, and Jack Holder could see it coming too. He looked over his right shoulder. He absolutely knew there was an attack coming from the outside, and it would be that man in white, Bartosz Szmarzyk, but now he's up the inside. No way through.
And just for a moment there, Szmarzyk going backwards, and Holder holding on, putting pressure on the leader here, but Szmarzyk's got it now in the bag. Vital 3 points for him. He's through to the semi-finals alongside Leon Madsen, with Max Frick riding through the pain barrier there, picking up a point in 3rd place. So all credit to him. You've got to give him tremendous amount of courage shown there after that spectacular crash. But for the championship leader, going along nicely, electing to ride high and wide, and it proved to be the right place. 3 points for Szmarzyk. Jack Holder back in 2nd place, 2 points. Max Frick in 3rd place, and Paweł Szapelski was excluded from the rerun. So here we go with Szmarzyk. We are hearing that Szapelski has withdrawn from the Grand-Prix.
Yeah, fantastic start from Jack Holder there. Szmarzyk, no one on the outside of him, with Szapelski excluded from this one, and he just confidently runs to the outside. He knows it's working for him, knows he's generating plenty of speed. Jack Holder knows he's coming. Look, he's looking over his right-hand shoulder. He knows there's an attack coming. He's left himself vulnerable on the inside, and he had a game plan. It didn't work. Szmarzyk generating all that speed straight past Jack Holder. 3 points for him, and another cracking ride.
Super ride from Bartosz Szmarzyk. He's on to double figures now, 10 points to his name so far, so it looks like we're going to see the shootout in the semi-finals at the very least between the top two in the championship chase. Will it be his night? Will it be the night he clinches his third World Championship? Well, heats 21 and 22 could be the moment it happens, but it might well go to the grand final itself. Wouldn't be a surprise. So heat number 15, Mads Hansen on the inside in red, Oliver Berntsson the wild card, gate number 2 in blue, Freddie Lindgren coming out of gate 3 in white, and Matsej Janowski going along nicely tonight from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. And Matsej Janowski saying he knows this place well, happy with his equipment, just got to improve himself. And if he does, then he's going to be right in the thick of it tonight.
He is, yeah, he's an honest man, and it's an honest appraisal that he's got good equipment. He knows he's got good equipment, and he just hasn't been able to make the most of it, hasn't been able to find that consistency. Seemed very relaxed in that interview with Scott Nicholls.
Maybe that's what he needs, possibly a touch tense at times, but nonetheless, 2 race wins to his name so far this evening. And the outside gate possibly could work for him with a run round the outside. So here we see it, Freddie Lindgren out again on 6 points, looking for more now. So heat 15, green light on, tapes are up and we're away. Berntsson's made that gate 2 work for him. He fires himself to the front. Janowski coming through the traffic. Big move from Janowski, brilliant move up the inside. Fires himself to the front. Lindgren could be a danger on the outside. He gets into second place. Lindgren electing to ride high and wide, squaring the corner off Berntsson. Whoa, tight coming out of turn 2 on the second lap. But Janowski out in front with that stunning move early on. Lindgren putting him under pressure, but Janowski responding.
Yeah, not a lot in this one, and Freddie Lindgren there. Great pass on Oliver Berntsson. Berntsson trying to shut the door a little bit too late on that second lap, but Janowski generating speed on the outside. Lindgren now having to ride defensive to try and stop the run of Oliver Berntsson.
He is indeed, but Matsej Janowski out in front, set for his third win of the evening to move on to 9, and a semi-final berth beckons for him. Great ride from Janowski, stunning move early in the race, wins comfortably in the end. And once again delighting the fans here this evening. Freddie Lindgren back in second place too. Berntsson riding well for third place, and Mads Hansen at the back, but for Matsej Janowski, all of a sudden his evening's going along very well indeed. Janowski out in front, 3 points. Freddie Lindgren back in second place, 2 points for him. Oliver Berntsson 1 point in third place, and Mads Hansen fails to score in heat 15. But for Matsej Janowski, 9 points to his name. He's in the semis, and he's looking very threatening here this evening.
Yeah, we're seeing the best of Janowski once again, just one blip there in his second ride, but what a great first turn here. Just times everything right. Looks like he's mistimed it with Oliver Berntsson just riding across his path. Makes a small adjustment and roars up the inside. Oliver Berntsson at this point is being swallowed up by Freddie Lindgren on the outside as well. And Janowski with the right move there, just roars in under Lindgren, then chops back, stops any run up the inside. Nice, smart move from Janowski. And Oliver Berntsson now seizes an opportunity to come across the inside, makes that move very late, only just about leaving enough room for Freddie Lindgren to squeeze past.
Yeah, there was all action there for second and third, but this man out in front certainly rode superbly well. And just one blip tonight, but no real damage done because he's going along really very nicely indeed, and we'll see him again in heat number 20, where he'll come off the inside gate to complete his semi-final, his qualifying heats for the semi-final. So Janowski going great guns tonight. So here we are, crunch time now for Dan Bewley, I would suggest, and he's up against his nearest rival in the championship chase for third place with Dudek here. And this really is a moment now for Jason Doyle and Dan Bewley. They've got to pick up some race wins here this evening. On the inside in red is Ty Woofenden. Going alongside him is Patrick Dudek in blue. Gate 2 for him. Gate 3 in white is Dan Bewley, and gate 4 in yellow is Jason Doyle. And I tell you what, all of these riders are desperate, and particularly Bewley, who just hasn't had the evening he was looking for.
No, you've got to say it's possibly a stretch too far for Dan Bewley to make the semi-finals, but certainly each of the 3 other riders, Woofenden, Dudek, Doyle, all needing points, take the pressure off in their last races.
But with a round to come, Bewley can ill afford to relax here. Every moment is going to be vital, and we're away. Ty Woofenden making a great start on the inside. Dudek chopping back to the inside, with Woofenden running really high and wide to block the move from Jason Doyle around the outside. Bewley once again not getting away well, but he's coming back into it here, through into third. And Woofenden, brilliant move from Woofenden. And certainly Dudek and him really scrapping here. Here comes Bewley up the inside, but can't quite make it stick. But Ty Woofenden out in front, really beginning to turn the style off.
Yeah, nicely timed move from Ty Woofenden. Straightened Dudek up as they enter turn one on the second lap. Nice move from him, riding right out wide, catching every little bit of grip. Better ride from Bewley, but still just a 1 point.
No, not good enough for Dan Bewley to make the semis tonight, you would suggest. But for Ty Woofenden, this was a vital ride. He really needed the win, and it looks like he's going to get it. Dudek looks like he's going to be hunting down and moving into third place in the World Championship on the evidence of this one. But Woofenden, that's his first race win of the night. Timely win from the former champion. Good stuff from him. Jason Doyle will be frustrated there at the back. Not good news for him. Will have to win his last ride, you would suggest, with any chance of a semi-final berth. But the winner is Ty Woofenden on 3 points. Patrick Dudek, 2 points for him. Dan Bewley there in third place, and Jason Doyle missing out. And all of a sudden, it really is crunch time for some of these guys this evening. And Dudek just a little bit more solid. There you can see 3 riders on 10 points. Vasilik, Smarslik and Madsen. Janowski on 9, Lindgren on 8, Robert Lambert 7, Ty Woofenden 6, Dudek on 6. But they're looking good for the semi-finals right now, and it's all taking shape very nicely.
Download the new FIM Speedway app and be part of a new era. Follow closely all the action with timing, results and telemetric data for an enhanced live experience. Get all the latest news and stats on your favourite riders in the Speedway GP World Title Race. Take your FIM Speedway experience to the next level.
And here she goes, her last chance to make this jump. It looks promising.
That'll do. In Yorkshire, when we say that'll do, it means it'll more than do. Fast, reliable broadband, award-winning customer service for a great price. That'll do.
Full fibre now available too. Search PlusNet Fibre now.
Sell your car the motorway way, where dealers compete to give you their best price. Motorway, the way to sell your car.
At Macmillan, we're tough and we're tender. Whatever it takes to help people living with cancer. But we can only do it with your help.
This is boring.
Seriously.
Should we do the thing?
1, 2.
Here we are, promo! Who's scored?
What's on your phone, bro?
Very mature, you guys. That's not funny. Now, this is why I didn't want to invite you.
$86 calories? What?
Sitz Monster Munch and Quavers multi-packs, 100 calories or less.
Say hello to Go.Compare, the new way to compare prices on insurance, credit cards and more. So, if you're looking for the right deal on your pet insurance... Oh, Oh, looking to switch your home insurance? Or searching for car insurance with £250 free excess cover? Remember, go.compare. One click and you're there.
Go.compare! Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Let's go.
So riders just now preparing themselves for their last qualifying heats prior to the semi-finals. As I say, the World Championship possibly could be decided in the semi-finals. We shall see and wait for that. And we'll have a look at the gate stats once again here after 16 races this evening. Gate number 1 has had a couple of race wins now. Gate 2, they make the start there, but they're getting very vulnerable to the riders coming around the outside, particularly off of gates 3 and 4. So pretty even spread, but once again, a little surprised that the gate 1 isn't winning as many races as you would like, but greasy conditions on the inside of the track. So let's get some more reaction once again with Scotty Nichols. He's going to be joined by Dan Bewley.
Dan Bewley, GP Luffers Type, you've had a sensational run from Tetro, but things not quite going to plan tonight.
Yeah, you know, not the way we want to go, but we got one more race, just try and finish on a good note.
Yeah, definitely. You've got, like you say, that one race, and it's important to go out on a high and round out with a win.
Yeah, you know, we've got to come back here next year and you know, just try and see if we can find something. But yeah, you know, it's we want to race. You know, it's nicer when you win in races, but you know, it's not always the case. And just keep trying to get a little bit better. And you know, we've got one more to go, so it's not over yet.
You've been in the mix. It's been tough. It's everybody's dropping points tonight. Is the track changing lots, and you find it kind of difficult to get that set up right in between the races?
Maybe it has changed a little bit, but you know, I don't think that's our main problem. I think we just haven't, you know, I don't think we've had something brilliant all night, but you know, maybe we've made a little change now, and we'll see in the last race. Maybe we've gone in the right direction, so we'll see. But yeah.
Well, let's see if the roll of the dice works in your last one. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it is important for Dan Bewley. He won't make the semis tonight, but a win, of course, with the chase for the bronze medal and Dudek coming on strong. He won't want to slip too far behind, so he wants to try and grab as much from this meeting. It's been disappointing for him, but he's only on 2 points, but 5 points will get him a little bit more championship points going into Turin.
Yeah, Voyens was disappointing for him, and of course now another disappointing night for him, but you know, there's a long way for him to go. He's got a bright future ahead of him, and he certainly is looking forward. But I'm just focused on heat 17. Madsen, Smarslik. This is quite a big race. This. Just throw Doyle and Lindgren in for 4 more elbows, and I think it could be quite entertaining.
It could well be, absolutely right. And Leon Madsen and Bartosz Smarslik in the semi-finals, but there's no doubt there will be a little bit of tension between the two. Track grading still going on with a little bit more scraping going on, a few sparks coming off the back of that grader going around there. Quite firm out there this evening, but there's no doubt that it has it certainly has worked out, but riders will have to just wait a little bit longer while that track grading is completed. Victor Palavara will come out in heat 18, and Carlson will come out in heat 20. So we'll see how they get on. They've had to wait a long time, and they'll be cold, so not ideal for them to have waited so long, but still an opportunity to ride on the very biggest stage. So nonetheless, they'll be excited about that prospect. So riders now being released for the next upcoming race, which is heat 17, where we'll see the top 2 in the World Championship go head-to-head here on the inside gates. They line up alongside each other, which gives it an added spice. There's no doubt about that. Gate 2 has worked well, particularly when they haven't been winning as many races just in the last few races, but there's no doubt that they have been getting a good run to the first corner.
Yeah, and his Smarslik's not afraid to get the elbows out. We've seen his right elbow out with Ty Woofenden. May need to use the left one this time with Leon Madsen on the inside of him.
Yeah, may well do. So a few last-minute tweaks to Smarslik's equipment as he approaches gate number 2 for heat 17. And Freddie Lindgren just thrown in for good measure here. Lindgren is going along fairly well, actually, and is looking good for a semi-final berth here, and he's been solid. So good stuff from Freddie once again.
8 points with a race win. You think that would be enough?
Yeah, he's doing a good night's work, so we're going to see more from Freddie this evening, you would suggest. But as you rightly point out, Chris, this is a super lineup, and one that you won't want to miss when you've got the two top riders in a championship going head-to-head. On the inside then is Leon Madsen in red. Alongside him in blue is Bartosz Zmarzlik. Gate number 3 in white is Jason Doyle, and gate number 4 in yellow is Freddie Lindgren. Doyle needs to win this one. Tough race to win, of course, but if he wants to make the semis, you suggest that's the absolute minimum is 3 points here for him.
Yeah, 3 points. He'll need that race win as well if he can manage to salvage 8 points from his qualifying heat. So yeah, only a win will do for him, I would suggest.
Pressure on the Australian then, got to respond then. Coming out of gate number 3, freshly prepared track. Heat 17. Zmarzlik and Leon Madsen going head-to-head for the first time this evening. Madsen's lifted violently. Zmarzlik's there, but I've got to say, Doyle made a great effort there initially, but the first turn belonged to Zmarzlik. He's down the back straight. Madsen just may have blown it there. He's gone wide. Now Doyle coming back at him, but Zmarzlik just about recovering in the nick of time. Freddie Lindgren's up high and wide, but he's out of the points at this stage. But for Zmarzlik, this is a dream run here coming through. Yeah, Lindgren is coming through, but for Zmarzlik out in front, looking good for another race win.
Lindgren's working overtime here to make his way through the field. He's already passed Madsen. Now looking on the outside to generate enough speed, but Madsen looking up the inside, but Freddie Lindgren's just getting his wheels in line early, coming down the banking. Knows this track inside out. Jason Doyle standing firm at the moment.
Indeed he is, but Zmarzlik has stolen a march here. That lift off the inside gate for Leon Madsen has proved very costly here. The championship will go on, of course, because they're both through to the semi-finals, but Zmarzlik does it in style. Whoa, smashing right up against his main rival there. Produced when he really needed to. Doyle hanging on for second place. We'll have to wait and see whether that'll be enough. I would suggest not. Hasn't won a race tonight and finishes on 7 points from his qualifying races. Zmarzlik out in front, 3 points for him. Doyle back in second place, 2. Freddie Lindgren, 1 point for him. And surprisingly, Leon Madsen missing out there in heat 17. And it will be a case of Zmarzlik now building nicely for the semi-finals and just dropping 2 points. He moves on to 13. Vasilik with a race in hand on 10. Madsen finishes on 10. That'll be enough for the semis, but won't get a gate draw that he will possibly be looking for. But we'll see this start again from Madsen.
Yeah, this is where it goes wrong for Madsen. Just gets good traction off the start. He just doesn't dip the clutch quite early enough. Once the front wheel's in the air, allows the bike to lift a little bit more than he would want. And you can see there, Jason Doyle actually looked like he was going to get a run up the inside of Zmarzlik. Changes his mind, then just turns right, goes to the outside, then realises he's got to get back to the inside to stop the run up the inside of Leon Madsen. So using all the track for Jason Doyle, who comes under fire from Freddie Lindgren. Great move from Freddie Lindgren here. Up the inside on lap 2, just scoots past Jason Doyle, surprises him quite a bit there, but Jason just hanging on to second place.
He was indeed, but things going along very nicely indeed for that man, Bartosz Zmarzlik, getting ever closer to that third World Championship. And we'll wait for the semi-finals to see exactly the outcome of that. Victor Palavara out here for his first ride of the night, replacing the injured Max Frick, which is more than understandable. But Palavara, 28 years of age now, been around the scene for some considerable time, but on the cusp of an international career, that's for sure. He was the reserve rider for Sweden in the Speedway of Nations, but didn't get a ride in the final. So the lineup for Heat 18 is Ty Woofenden off the inside in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Victor Palavara. Andrei Lebedevs, who's having a better night, actually. He comes out of gate number 3 in white, and off the outside in yellow is Mads Hansen. But once again, Ty Woofenden needing to produce here to secure a semi-final berth. Takes up, and we're underway. Victor Palavara coming in has made a smashing start out of gate number 2. Terrific effort from him. Round the outside, though, Mads Hansen, look at that. Terrific rider there, coming through to hit the front, with Palavara now being swallowed up by Andrei Lebedevs coming through in the second place, and Ty Woofenden going to have to work awfully hard, and he's out the back here. Really going to have to produce something very special from there. But for Mads Hansen, what a move that was on the opening lap.
Yeah, great move. Didn't see that one coming. And Victor Palavara also mixing it well. Lebedevs now just getting across Palavara. Got to stop him. I think Palavara now, he's dealt with him. But Ty Woofenden really not making the bike work at all. He's tried around the fence. He's now looking for a lower line, but he just can't seem to get the thing hooked up.
No, he can't, and this is a desperate moment for Woofenden. He's got 6 points. Needs it. Wow, needs 2. He's going to get it. Oh, Lebedevs has packed up. Massive moment for Woofenden. Going to move on to 8. Out in front, though, Mads Hansen. Delight for him. First Grand Prix heat victory for him. He's going to be chuffed to bits. And a little bit of good fortune there late on for Ty Woofenden to pick up 2 points when it was looking very unlikely, and a heartbreaking moment there for Andrei Lebedevs, who was going along strongly. Mads Hansen is the winner, no doubt about that, but for Ty Woofenden, really was struggling for 3/4 of that race, but picks up a very handy 2 points. 3 points for Mads Hansen. Brilliant ride from him. Ty Woofenden back in second place, 2 points. Victor Palavara coming through in third place, and Andrei Lebedevs failing to score. So there we see it now. Woofenden moving on to 8 points as a consequence of that. Bit of good fortune, is looking set for the semi-finals right now. Out in front, though, is Bartosz Zmarzlik. 7 points to Jason Doyle. Don't know if that'll be enough. Got a feel for Andrei Lebedevs. Was having a good ride here.
Yeah, Lebedevs has been in the thick of the action all night. He's been on the pace, battling hard. But Victor Palavara makes a decent start from gate 2. But look at the speed that Mads Hansen generates on that first turn, right around the fence. Just squeezes past Lebedevs and then gets back down on the line. And I like watching Mads. He's got a decent, neat style for a rider as tall as he is. And great, he'll be celebrating his first Grand Prix victory. But meanwhile, Ty Woofenden just struggling at the back, really, wherever he rode, couldn't make the bike work, couldn't generate the speed. And then, of course, unfortunately, disaster for Lebedevs as the bike packs up down the back straight. And a moment there for Palavara. Does extremely well at that point to miss him. And maybe a lifeline handed to Ty Woofenden.
I agree with that. 8 points could well be enough. Mads Hansen clearly delighted, just having a little bit of a debrief with the coach there, Hans Nielsen. So a special moment there for Mads Hansen, a moment I'm sure he'll relish and reflect on later this evening when the dust settles. So congratulations to him. So here we are, Heat 19. Oliver Berntsson on the inside in red. Robert Lambert will go from gate number 2 in blue. Jack Holder out of gate number 3 in white. And Patrick Dudek needs a couple of points here. You would suggest at the very least. Goes from the outside in yellow, and Dudek is a major threat now to move into third in the world. Robert Lambert also has an opportunity as well. So once again, plenty riding on every race here tonight. Heat number 19 then tapes her up. Lambert's made a great start from gate 2. We've seen that so often tonight. Dudek was left standing, but comes round the outside. Oliver Berntsson into third place. Jack Holder settles in second place. Lambert, though, this is a crucial moment for him. Terrific ride. He's out in front, looking good, set for another win tonight. He started with a win, and it's looking like he could win heat number 19.
Yeah, looking good out front. Robert Lambert enjoying himself. Jack Holder in second place, not going to be enough for him. And Patrick Dudek now would only move himself on to 7 points here. So you'd have to say Dudek maybe not taking advantage of Bewley having an off night.
Here we see it then, Lambert out in front, had 7 points coming into this ride. He's going to finish on 10, just needs to keep that motorbike going. No mechanical failures now, one last blast down the back straight. Holder there in second place is going to finish with 6 points. But for this man, it's another semi-final, and Lambert's momentum continues. Dudek back in third place, 7 points. It might just be a count back on 7 points tonight. We'll wait and see. But for Robert Lambert, no such concerns for him, because he comes through in fine style there in heat number 19 to secure his semi-final berth. Lambert 3 points, good ride. Back in second place is Jack Holder, 2 points for him. Patrick Dudek there, back in third place. He's vulnerable now on 7 points. He's in the top 8, and so is Jason Doyle, but Doyle hasn't won a race tonight, and that may well prove to be his undoing. But there's no doubt that as we've got one race to go before the completion of the qualifiers, Robert Lambert, as I said before, has no such concerns about that.
Robert Lambert just jet propelled from the start there, really makes the bike work. Front wheel just enough in the air, you can see the bike's going forward. Opposite reaction there, Dudek just going a little too high, having to work the clutch far too hard doing that. The bike's not going forward. Jack Holder makes a decent start from gate 3, not working the best. And down the back straight, Dudek making light work of Oliver Burnson on the first lap, but all about Robert Lambert. Moves on to 10 points. Once again, qualifies for the semi-finals. Great second half to the season, that young man.
Yeah, superb stuff, and it's looking like Dudek will make it on 7 unless somebody leapfrogs him here, but Janowski and Vasilik are already in front of him. Szapelski is out of the night, and Dan Bewley can't catch him. No. So it's looking like 7 points with a race victory for Dudek. Secures a semi-final berth for him, and all of a sudden, Dan Bewley's position in third in the world, he is going to be replaced by Dudek this evening as a consequence of that 1 point in his last ride. So heat number 20 then. Maciej Janowski going well here tonight. He goes from the inside in red. Martin Vasilik, the same for him, going great guns out of gate number 2 in blue. Anton Carlson coming in here as his first ride for Pavel Szapelski out of gate number 3 in white. And Dan Bewley looking to finish on a high here, going from the outside in yellow. Martin Vasilik started well, has continued on. Janowski also just one blip tonight. He's had 3 race victories to his name so far this evening, so good work by him this evening. But for Bewley, it's looking like Dudek is going to leapfrog him in the championship standings at the conclusion of tonight. Here we go then. Heat number 20, and we're away. Look at Martin Vasilik just holding that thing absolutely flat out, and it's worked. He's got to the first corner, and he's got out of the first turn. Here comes Bewley, roaring on round the outside. Maciej Janowski trying to block that move from Bewley, but can't do. Bewley's through into second place, but Martin Vasilik, what a night he's enjoying, really riding so well. Conditions suits him, that bike's working, and he's coming on strong out in front. Bewley and Janowski going head to head here with Janowski momentarily into second place. He hangs on to it. Bewley can't respond. And Janowski is there, but for Martin Vasilik, smashing ride.
Yeah, smashing ride. I said it from his very first race. When he starts a meeting in the fashion that he did his first ride, great from the start, great ride. He is very, very, very tough to beat, and he's opened up a nice gap here. You can see Bewley still searching to find the quickest line. He hasn't found the setup tonight. And Janowski will move on to 11 points.
There we go then. Martin Vasilik finishes on 13 points. What a meeting he's enjoying. Terrific ride from him. Janowski coming through in second place, and it just hasn't been the night that Dan Bewley was looking for, and he was relegated back to third place. But the start, I mean, got to say, initially I thought that Janowski had made the jump, but Martin Vasilik powered to the front. 3 points for Vasilik. Second place is Janowski's, 2 points for him. Dan Bewley 1 point, and Anton Carlson coming in for his first ride this evening fails to score. So there's the top 8 for you, with Vasilik and Smarslik on 13 points, Janowski 11, Leon Madsen 10, Lambert 10, Freddie Lindgren on 9, Ty Woofenden's in on 8, and Patrick Dudek by the skin of his teeth with the that one race win. He's through in 8th place on 7 points, with Jason Doyle just missing out. Big semi-finals coming up.
This Zubarah fort was built by Sheikh Abdullah bin Jassim in 1938 to protect the northern part of Qatar. Zubarah is Qatar's UNESCO World Heritage Site. There was a huge demand for pearls at the time in the Western world, which continued to grow in the 18th and 19th century, so it was a very good way to make money. And although there were plenty of other towns founded round about the same time, Zubarah came to be the biggest and most important.
The breathtaking Bennett's British Superbike Championship returns to the Donington Park Grand-Prix circuit on the 30th of September to the 2nd of October. This is the penultimate round of the 2022 championship, and the stakes couldn't be higher, as a top-class field do battle across 3 headline races. Weekend tickets are just £45 online in advance, with free admission for under 13s. Book now at donington-park.co.uk.
Want to flip from selfies to streaming Britain? Well, get the iconic new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 on EE, with 24 months of unlimited TV and movies on Netflix. And save yourself £192. Plus, get an extra £384 off when you trade in your old Samsung. But what makes it all flippin' amazing? It's all on the UK's best network. Now that's more bang for your buck. Save £192 on the iconic Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 99, 100. Coming! Ready or
not? EasyJet Holidays help you find your perfect package holiday from £259 per person. Book now for next summer with only a £60 per person deposit. Search EasyJet Holidays.
At Sky, we believe value's more important than ever, which is why this September prices are frozen for 18 months when you choose award-winning Sky Fibre broadband. Frozen at £25 a month. Or add a Sky Q box for an extra £5 a month and enjoy your favourite Freeview channels, apps and recordings all in one place. So, that's no price rises on broadband for £25 a month for 18 months with Sky's price freeze. Now that's value you can believe in. Switch now at sky.com.
Wait, isn't it my niece's birthday soon? What if I got her a cool magnifying glass on Amazon? We could start to solve mysteries. Set up our very own detective bureau. Identify some suspects. Follow some leads. And crack the case. Best auntie ever.
People see in business asking for advice as a weakness. Really, it's a strength. If you have the strength to be able to ask that question, I don't think anyone judges you for not knowing something.
Sage members like Joanne never feel held back with our helpful business tools and advice from real experts. Sage, helping business flow.
So now this is when the World Championship could be decided. Leon Madsen through, so is Bartosz Zmarzlik. Advantage Bartosz Zmarzlik right now, because he'll have a more favourable pick, you would suggest. So let's have some more reflection on what we've seen so far this evening. So we've enjoyed 20 heats so far, and there's no doubt that they've been very entertaining indeed. So So let's get down to Phil Morris, the race director now, who will take us through the gate choices for the semi-finals.
And the first choice for semi-final 1 is Martin Vasulik. Please select your gate colour. Martin selects the blue gate position. And the next to make the selection is Leon Madsen. Please select your colour for semi-final 1. Leon selects the white gate position. And the next to make the selection is Fredrik Lindgren. Please select your colour. And Freddie selects the yellow gate position. And the final colour goes to Ty Woofenden, who has the red gate position. Thank you, guys.
So there we are then, the lineup for semi-final number 1 with Woofenden off the inside in red. Martin Vasulik, no surprise there with gate number 2 in blue. Leon Madsen, gate number 3 in white. And Freddie Lindgren going from the outside in the yellow helmet colour.
And the first selection for semi-final 2 is Bartosz Zmarzlik, who selects the blue gate position. Next to make a selection is Maciek Janowski. Maciek, please select your colour. Next to make the selection is Robert Lambert. Please select your colour. Robert selects the white gate position. And the final selection is Patrick Dudek, who will have the red gate position.
So there we are then, semi-final number 2. The line-up is Dudek on the inside in red, Bartosz Zmarzlik out of gate 2 in blue, Lambert out of gate number 3 in white, and Maciej Janowski going from the outside gate. No surprise at all to see the gate 2 being chosen straight away by the best qualifiers for the semi-finals, but it is a surprise that gate number 1 was left as the last choice.
I was going to say exactly the same thing. I can't remember another occasion when gate 1 hasn't had a pick in either semi-final.
Well, we will see how it all works out now. Now, let's just reflect on the championship. Zmarzlik gets through to the final. Leon Madsen doesn't. Then the championship is Zmarzlik's. If it's the other way around, then we'll go to Torren for it to be decided. So it's getting down to the crunch now. And will it be Zmarzlik's night? Will he clinch his 3rd World Championship with a round remaining? Of course, the neutrals will want it to go to Torren, but I can assure you, Zmarzlik, if he can do it tonight, he really will want to do. He's not neutral. He's definitely not neutral. He's reasonably biased. But there's no doubt that Leon Madsen will want to keep it going for as long as he possibly can. So he needs to be in the first 2 here to make the final, to put the pressure back on Zmarzlik to make the final. If Zmarzlik doesn't, then, of course, we will then go on to Torren to see the shootout and the World Championship to be decided. But there's no doubt these are crucial moments for those 2 riders, and also the same for Martin Vasulik. As you say, with other riders going well tonight, Chris, you've got to say that Martin Vasulik will need at least 18 points out of tonight to really make headway with a round in Torren. Well, I expect him to go well in Torren. I'm sure it's a track he will relish. So a big opportunity for him. But
yeah, he's done his bit so far this evening. Unfortunately for him, the people he's chasing have also been reasonably successful.
They have indeed. And for Ty Woofenden, wants to make another final, had a bit of good fortune. Can he capitalise now? Gate number 1 hasn't been particularly fruitful. Only 2 race wins all night long so far in the first 20 races from there. So it's going to have to do something pretty special, but he's a special rider. So, as I say, there's no doubt that it's an opportunity for him to make another final here this evening. Of course, Leon Madsen is carrying a warning. So he will have to behave himself on the start line if he wants this championship to continue. We don't want it with a warning, a second warning here, do we? It would be not very satisfactory at all, but nonetheless, that pressure is still looming over him. So here we are then, heat number 21, semi-final number 1. And riders emerging out on track. It's been a super night so far, and it's the business end of the evening where the big World Championship points are earned, that's for sure. And Martin Vasilek qualifying through on 13 points has elected to come out of gate number 2, which the stats would back up, there's no doubt about that, but we do often see that the stats can be undone a wee bit as you go into these latter stages of the night, that's for sure. The track is now freshly prepared for the last time of the evening, so it will be potentially a little greasy in this first semi-final, but nonetheless a freshly prepared track for these semi-finalists to encounter, and Leon Madsen has had that throughout the evening, so no change for him there because he elected to take the draw number 1. But tense moments now as we build up to the first semi-final. So Woofenden with a bit of good fortune last time, you've got to say, but a rider of his calibre, got to say he'll be looking to capitalise. He goes away from the inside in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Martin Vasilek. Gate number 3 in white is Leon Madsen. And gate 4 in yellow, excuse me, is Freddie Lindgren. And Freddie quietly has been going along nicely tonight.
He does that a lot. You know, you can sort of almost not notice him going through the 20 heats. Makes his way steadily to the semi-finals, and all of a sudden pops out and wins a final, which, of course, we've seen him do here. Picked himself up from a dreadful crash with Dudek.
Oh, yeah.
Only to go out and win the final, so we know he can do it.
A remarkable night that was, and Lindgren, of course, in front of his home crowd, will want to make the final at the very least. So here we go then, first semi-final of the evening. Green light is on, tapes up, and we're underway. They roar into the first corner. Woofenden makes a great start. Lindgren chopping back to the inside, but the door is slammed shut by Woofenden. Smarslik certainly will be looking on keenly here with Leon Madsen out the back. Freddie Lindgren coming through into second place. Martin Vasilek into third. You just can't read this sport at times. Leon Madsen now through into third, but Woofenden defying the odds out in front here, Chris.
He is indeed. He looks a lot more settled in this one. Oh, Madsen's packed up. It's all over for Madsen. This would hand it to Smarslik.
It would indeed, as long as Smarslik completes the race in semi-final number 2, of course. But no doubt about the moment here for Ty Woofenden out in front. Got to say that he is looking for the final now, set for the final. Lindgren, what a dynamic move that was on the first turn. But down the back straight for the last time. Woofenden's going to go through to the final. He's going to be joined by the home crowd favourite, Frederick Lindgren, and Martin Vasilek misses out. So you just cannot predict this sport at times. Bit of good fortune for Woofenden in his last qualifying race, and he makes the final. Martin Vasilek top scores and misses out.
Yeah, unbelievable. Lindgren, we see it so often. There's a dejected Leon Madsen. Yeah, he would be disappointed. But Lindgren, he goes about his business quietly, and then he just gets it together at the end.
My understanding, Chris, sorry to jump over you, my understanding is that Bartosz Smarslik has just got to complete 4 laps here, and he's going to be world champion. Ty Woofenden makes the final. Freddie Lindgren goes through with him, and Martin Vasilek and Leon Madsen just missing out. Drama here in semi-final number 1. Desperate times for Madsen. Bike packing up at just the vital moment there, but he'd missed the start, and it was looking unlikely anyway. I think they're celebrating. Well, we're hearing now that as a consequence of that retirement from Leon Madsen, that retirement means that it can't be beat. And many congratulations, not the ideal way. I thought for a moment that he was going to have to complete the laps, but it isn't the case. And for Bartosz Smarslik, what a career he's having. 3 world championships in 4 years. That in itself is superb. Tony Riccarton in on the scene. And before he's even got to the start line in semi-final number 2, we've got a new world champion.
Yeah, it's cracking stuff. Fully deserved. Bartosz Smarslik. I see Jason Crump there just having a word with him. and moves on to 3. He deserves it, absolutely. He battles so hard in every race, every lap. He's surrounded by a great team, and well, they'll be celebrating tonight, and deservedly so.
So just a moment to take stock now for Bartosz Marzlik. The championship is here. He's been under immense pressure this year for unusual reasons, with the suspension to Artem Laguta and Emil Sayfutunov. Everybody talking about him. It's going to be so easy for him to win this year. But he hasn't been at his best this season at times. Congratulations from Madsen. Of course, disappointment for him, but sheer delight for Bartosz Marzlik. Let's get some reaction now with Scott Nichols. He's joined by the new world champion.
Bartosz Marzlik, well, everyone was hoping to go down to Torun, but you proved everyone wrong, and you are 3-time world champion.
Wow, this is unbelievable, because I'm looking for the first semi-final, and I don't know what to say after, because everything's so fine for me, and I'm really happy because I make it the world champion 3 times. I'm many times dreaming about win the world champion before last rounds, and I today make it, and I'm really happy.
So dreams come true, like you said, you've sewn it up. The T-shirt is in the background ready, so the boys are a happy camp. You must want to say a thank you to your team as well, because without them it's difficult to win a world championship.
I see now his team also so ready, and big thanks for everyone who helped me, because the really hard work all season, up and down sometimes, but I'm very regular in GP, so good for me, because I'm winning, and I don't feel now everything, but I want also win today.
Yeah, you still have 2 heats left to do, so you still have to keep focused.
Yes.
Okay, well, you know what, I'll let you enjoy a little celebration and then go on and have a good rest of the night. Well done.
Thank you.
Brilliant stuff. A strange way for him to have won it this evening, but nonetheless, he's done it. And for Bartosz Marzlik and his team, it's celebration time. Slightly odd moments, this. It's only just beginning to sink in. Ordinarily, you win a world championship by winning a race on track, but he was there, and as a consequence of the retirement for Leon Madsen, a little bit unsatisfactory for him, but nonetheless.
Yeah, it's a shame to see it decided that way, but you can't take it away from Bartosz Marzlik. Is it too early to start talking about 4 more and being the all-time greatest?
I don't know.
He's only 27, coming into his prime, I would suggest.
Exactly. There's time on his side, and there's no doubt that he still retains the hunger, and he will push on for more, and there's no doubt about that. It's all about who can come and take it to Bartosz Marzlik in the upcoming season. So Marzlik's the new world champion. He's got a semi-final and a final if he makes it. He said there with Scotty Nichols that he wants to win tonight and go out in style. I'm sure that
doesn't know any other way.
No, that's the only way he knows how to go racing. So we all thought that it was on the cards, and so it's proved. Marzlik, the world champion. Dudek, though, there. He'll be reflecting all of a sudden that he's pushing on for a bronze medal, but so will Lambert. So after a slight delay, I don't know why that was necessary, but here we go with semi-final.
I think it was fair, though.
Yeah, I think it was. And semi-final number 2 is now upon us, and absolutely right that we got an opportunity to talk to the new world champion. And Lambert first up at tapes for the second semi-final here this evening. The world champion, Artem Laguta, of course, the outgoing world champion who hasn't been out of turn a wheel. My thoughts are also with him, of course. It was desperate for him not to be able to compete in the World Championship as a reigning world champion, but there's no doubt that Marzlik has done the business, and that meeting 7 days ago in Voyens, Chris, really was a pivotal moment when you reflect on this championship.
Yeah, I think it showed everybody just how determined he was to get the job done. You know, the last 2 or 3 races, last qualifying race, semi-final and the final, tough on his opponents.
They were indeed. Dudek there, just a few moments for him. Don't quite know what's going on there.
Looks like a last-minute ignition change, I would suggest.
So the clock will be ticking now, so they'll have to get on. There's a spare bike ready waiting for him. So the lineup for semi-final number 2 then is Patrick Dudek off the inside in red. The new world champion will go out of gate number 2 in blue. Robert Lambert comes out of gate number 3 in white. And Maciej Janowski will go from the outside in yellow. And got a feel also for Martin Vasilik. I mean, what a night he had, and then missing out. I mean, crikey, really so topsy-turvy, this Speedway game. It's so tough, you know. It really looked like a finalist tonight, but just couldn't quite get there. So here we go then, semi-final number 2. Championship decided, but still plenty riding on the remainder of the movement on the outside from Janowski. They get to the first corner. Dudek shows Lambert chopping back to the inside. Brilliant move. Oh, he's just not quite. Oh, comes Smarslik round the outside. Fabulous move from him. Robert Lambert now through into second place. A hard charge from him to do that. Certainly Maciej Janowski committing to the outside with Dudek just missing out there. Lambert's going to have to really have eyes in the back of his head here now.
Yeah, he's going to have to look for that run from Janowski on the outside, electing to ride on the inside, but Janowski really generating the spare. Tell you what, Robert Lambert made exactly the right decision there to stop the run, but straight back on the outside. Here he comes.
Brilliant stuff for second and third. Who's going to make the final? Lambert's got it at the moment. Smarslik's away. Looking comfortable. Here comes Smarslik out in front, but Janowski's now second place. Can Lambert respond? Don't think he's going to get there. The champion's through. He's into the final, and he's going to be joined by his compatriot Maciej Janowski. Smashing race for second and third. Dudek misses out. Stunning move early in the race, that's for sure. Smarslik missed the fireworks. There's a few fireworks going off here, there, and everywhere here this evening, that's for sure. But Smarslik, the world champion, with that interview with Scott, said he wanted to win the night. And he's got every chance. Smarslik wins the semi-final. He's through with Maciej Janowski, Robert Lambert and Patrick Dudek missing out this evening. Janowski having to work very hard there, and the battle with Lambert was race long. But the champion showing what it's all about. Remained focused there. Couldn't have been easy after all the celebrations prior to the semi-final, but said he wanted to win, and he's got 4 laps to do it now.
Yeah, Smarslik had to wait through the preparation, waiting for this to happen. Then the celebrations after Madsen packed up, and still manages to put in a fantastic race. Coming from gate 2 here, Dudek makes a decent start off. It's a great first turn from Robert Lambert. No room up the inside there, drags his foot. And looks like he's maybe going to go back to third place, but Smarslik around the outside. So much speed. Dudek's got his mind set on stopping Robert Lambert, which he fails to do, and Smarslik has all the space on the outside to make the move stick. Great ride from Smarslik. And, well, Janowski, I tell you what, he's back in the party because he's gone missing so many occasions. This is the most determined race I've seen from him for a long while.
Yeah, really good effort there from Maciej Janowski. There are warnings being handed out here for Maciej Janowski and Robert Lambert. Lambert is out of the Grand-Prix now, so it won't be much of a consequence for him right now, but it will be for Janowski, of course. He'll carry it forward. But for the world champion, he's clearly delighted, not only of winning the championship, but making the final as well. He's a real thoroughbred, is Bartosz Smarslik, that's for sure.
Yeah, just because he's secured the championship, he's not going to stop racing. We're going to see more from him, I'm sure.
And in the next 10 years, the next decade as well, I would suggest. So the gate choice for the finals will be our next port of call, of course. But right now, just a few moments to reflect on the 2 semi-finals. Real dramatic stuff going on. At the front and the back. Smarslik on the hurry up to get forward now to make his draw for the final itself. And almost certainly might well come out of a different gate. Or would he go for gate number 2 once again? Wait and see on that. But he's still focused, he's still maintaining. He'll want to go out on a high, or want to go out in style, I would suggest. So he makes his way forward now. Phil Morris will be conducting proceedings once again at this stage of the night. Of course, there's a home rider in here as well with Freddie Lindgren. And Lindgren was very forceful there in the first semi-final. I mean, that was a great move by him to come through and secure the final spot tonight. And as you said earlier, Chris, he goes about his business, but then suddenly he's there, isn't he?
Just in the final.
He's
Where
in
did
the
he
final.
come from? Yeah.
So once again, Freddie clearly really fired up and to do a great night, and making the final itself has been a terrific effort from him. And when you consider, we heard from him in the pre-show how his health really is holding him back to a degree. It's a great effort tonight, clearly inspired right at home tonight. So Poland once again in the individual side of the sport at the very highest level are ruling the world, and with a rider like Zmarzlik you can see it continuing on for years to come. 3 world championships in the bag and time on his side. Who's going to come and take it to him? So let's get down to Phil Morris now, and he will take us through the draw for the all-important final tonight.
And the first selection for the final is the new world champion. Please select your gate colour. Bartosz selects the blue gate position. And next to make his selection is Ty Woofenden. Please select your colour. And Ty selects the red gate position. And third to make his choice is Maciej Janowski. Please select your colour. Maciej selects the yellow gate position. And the final gate goes to Fredrik Lindgren, who selects the white gate position. Thank you, guys.
So there we are then, the final of the night, with Ty Woofenden going from the inside in red and Bartosz Zmarzlik coming out of gate number 2 in blue. Freddie Lindgren will go from gate 3 in white, and Maciej Janowski, a little undecided, will go from the outside in yellow. He must have been a little concerned about possibly that rider in gate 3. That may be why he hesitated just for a moment, but a good-looking lineup here. And will the home crowd see Freddie Lindgren win here again? He's done it previously, and I must say that he's a sort of guy that you wouldn't rule it out at all, and he's done a great job to make the final tonight.
Yeah, he's the sort of rider that could just pull that one ride out. He's worked hard to get there tonight. And Zmarzlik, I did half wonder if he might have a go on either the inside or the outside, but no, stuck to his guns, gate 2.
Yeah, second pick was for Woofenden, and he resisted the temptation to go from the outside, which he's done previously, and he elected to go from that inside gate, which prior to the semi-finals was looking like a bit of a graveyard, and all of a sudden he wins his semi-final from the inside gate and has elected to go once again from that position. So will we see Ty Woofenden picking up a Grand Prix win for the first time in some considerable time? And it will be long overdue for him, and it will be just exactly what he needs. He had a bit of good fortune, you can't deny that, but once he's got in that position, you've got to say he has capitalised upon it. So good to see a former 3-time world champion going up against another 3-time world champion here in the inside 2 gates. So plenty of respect, of course, between those two lads. But Zmarzlik just doing it in a shorter period of time.
Yeah, 27 years old. There's plenty of time for him to continue to win Grand Prix. And Ty Woofenden had that second place in Prague, but been pretty quiet since then.
Yeah, it's been a difficult season for Woofenden, there's no question about that, but as I say, this is a timely move for him. He's going to move into the top 6 tonight with Lambert missing out, but Janowski's there, but every chance. What is he on, 74 points? Yeah, I tell you what, he'll be very close, very close. He needs to beat Maciej Janowski if he can. Just 2 points between them, but all of a sudden with a round remaining, Woofenden is looking a very threatening rider, pushing towards and securing his Grand Prix future for next year. So right now it's final time here in MALILLA, and we've enjoyed a smashing Grand Prix, that's for sure. It hasn't disappointed. We've seen the championship decided, which we were fairly confident of it happening tonight. Not in those circumstances, but nonetheless, it's been done, and Zmarzlik has shown great character and determination to make the final. He could have literally have ridden round at the back and it wouldn't have made any difference at all, but he said in his interview he wanted to win the night, and you wouldn't put him past doing that right now. But there are one or two other riders here that are trying to re-establish themselves and get their Grand Prix back on track. So the line-up for the final then is Ty Wolfenden off the inside in red, Bartosz Zmarzlik out of gate number 2 in blue, Freddie Lingman will go from gate 3 in white, and Maciej Janowski going from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Big final here. And as I say, Janowski a win here, that would be timely, but it also would be very handy indeed for the other two riders in this race with Maciej Janowski and Freddie Lindgren.
I'm still trying to imagine Bartosz Zmarzlik riding round at the back. It's not something that
difficult to imagine, isn't it? Yeah, difficult to imagine, but he could have done, but he elected not to, and he won the semi-final in brilliant style. So one more race to go to finish round 9 of this year's championship. The gold medal is in the bag with that man, number 95. But Dudek there. Will be disappointed not to have made the final tonight, but still a fairly good showing from the Polish rider. Here we go then, the conclusion of the night. Final time. Start marshal is happy now. Craig Ackroyd, the referee. Green lights on and we're away. What a start from Zmarzlik. Absolutely flew away from gate number 2, turns it tight, down the back straight. Lingman coming on strong around the outside. Got to say that Wolfenden just trapped there, is aware of riders coming on strong. Lingman now through into second place. Is he through into the first? No, Zmarzlik slams the door shut.
Great ride from Zmarzlik. Did all the work on the first turn to stop the run of Ty Wolfenden, who'd made the comeback. I'll tell you what, Freddie Lindgren is putting an awful lot of pressure on Bartosz Zmarzlik. He's tempted him to ride defensively around the inside, and that's the right move.
Indeed it is, but Zmarzlik just reacted in the nick of time, hugging that inside line. Janowski's now moved through into third place with Wolfenden relegated to the back. What a way to finish the night here. Clinched the World Championship before he even rode in the semi-final, and he's going to go on and win back-to-back Grand Prix, and his third Grand Prix win of the year. Zmarzlik wins here in MALILLA tonight, the new world champion. Now we can relax, now we can take it all in. Celebrations can begin. Congratulations to him. What a way to round the night out. Good performance for Freddie back in second place. Janowski on the rostrum again. But for that man, the night belongs to Bartosz Zmarzlik.
Yeah, the series belongs to Bartosz Zmarzlik. Fantastic performance from him. He's done his job impeccably tonight. And what a way to round it off. Winning the Grand Prix here in MALILLA.
He said he wanted to. You've got to believe every word he says, because he said it.
He wasn't kidding.
He wasn't kidding. As I say, he didn't rest on his laurels for a moment, and that just shows you the caliber of this man. And once again, it's a real gauntlet. There's no doubt that he is going to be a force to be reckoned with for some considerable time to come. Brilliant night for him, of course. It doesn't get any better than that. So his third world title and his third Grand Prix win of the season. So all of a sudden, he really has stamped his authority on this campaign. Zmarzlik wins the final nicely. Freddie Lindgren riding brilliantly for second place. Janowski makes the podium here this evening in third, and Ty Wolfenden misses out and finishes in fourth place, but 14 championship points nonetheless, very handy. But all sorts of presents coming over here. Brilliant moment for Bartosz Zmarzlik with the World Championship helmet there.
I like the paint job.
Yeah, gold paint there all over the helmet. Brilliant stuff for him. And as I say, how far can this man go now? It really is an incredible moment for him. Of course, at times he wasn't at his best this season, but he kept picking up the 12 points even when he wasn't making the finals. But these last two rounds, he's just absolutely turned up the wick.
Yes, he has.
And he's stamped his authority.
Yeah, I think he saw a certain young man like Dan Bewley starting to snap around his heels and putting in a couple of decent performances, and I think he just gave him that little nudge that he needed to find the best of himself. And back-to-back Grand Prix wins what a way to take the title with a round to go.
And then, of course, in Wrocław, where he dropped those points to Madsen, of course, that seemed to spur him on as well with 16-point lead.
Yeah, but what a way to end tonight. Great start, just rocketed away from gate 2. Absolutely textbook. Just makes the bike work perfectly from the start. Down on it, just misses the apex there, has to get back to it. And Ty Woofenden's got to run up the inside, but Bartosz has put pay to that, just stops Ty's momentum. Lindgren puts in a challenge right around the outside. Bartosz Marzik there just looking over his right shoulder. Look, straight out to the fence entering the corner. He absolutely does not want Freddie Lindgren to be able to pull that move off the outside. Got everything covered, Marzik. Thinks so quick.
Yeah, the racing brain absolutely in top gear there, that's for sure. He had all the angles covered because Lindgren was pushing hard for a victory here this evening, that's for sure. But he was denied by that man who comes through in flying colours, that's for sure. Speedway out of the top draw here tonight and all season long for Bartosz Marzik. And the championship is his. So Zmarzlik just cruising around, just taking it all in now. And so we'll see the results of the evening for you now. 20 points to Zmarzlik, Lindgren back on 18, handy points for him. Janowski likewise, as with Ty Woofenden. Martin Vasilik missing out, but picks up 12. Lambert 11, Leon Madsen 10. Patrick Dudek on 9. Jason Doyle 8 points with a lot of work to do with 1 round remaining to make the top 6. Might not be possible. And the remainder there you see with Dan Bewley having a disappointing night. But for that man, spotlight will be on him throughout the remainder of the evening, that's for sure. So we'll have a look at the overall standings after 9 rounds now for you. Bartosz Zmarzlik now pulling away out in front a massive lead now with 2 consecutive wins. 148 points. Leon Madsen moving on to 118. Patrick Dudek now into 3rd place. And Robert Lambert into 4th place with Bewley back into 5th. And Frederick Lindgren into 6th. Maciej Janowski hanging on to 6th place with Freddie Lindgren and Ty Woofenden on 88 championship points. So let's get some more reaction now with the reigning new World Speedway champion, Bartosz Zmarzlik.
So your penultimate round winner is Bartosz Zmarzlik. A bit of deja vu because I'm sure I spoke to you earlier, but now also the new 2023 world champion. Has it sunk in yet?
Yeah, I feel unbelievable because you know what I say to you before the semi-final and about today night. I'm full focus for this night because I really want the win and make it everything before last round in Turin.
Yeah, that's remarkable because you didn't have to win the final tonight. You're already world champion, but you showed true world champion spirit and went out and won and showed the boys who's boss.
Oh, wow, for me, so hit title so a little bit different again because so I'm finished championship before the last rounds and I'm happy, very happy about this. I think so a little bit more say about this after season because now I don't really know what the make it today and I must, you know, a little bit more easy and look at for the media and my friends what think so about me today.
Yeah, well, we'll let you celebrate, but also give you the chance to say thank you to all your sponsors and fans in Polish.
About speak Polish?
Yeah, speak Polish.
Dziękuję bardzo wszystkim, którzy dzisiaj tu przybyliście. Byliście naprawdę dla mnie wielkim wsparciem i każdy pytał dzisiaj o tą rundę, jak będzie. No nic za bardzo nie odpowiadałem, troszkę się stresowałem, aczkolwiek teraz czuję naprawdę wielką ulgę, bo od 4 lat ten wrzesień, październik jest dla mnie bardzo stresujący, bo akurat zawsze znajdowałem się w tym miejscu, co sobie wymarzyłem przez ostatnie 4 lata i walczyłem o tytuł mistrza świata, także to naprawdę nie są łatwe miesiące, ale dziękuję bardzo wam wszystkim za wsparcie dzisiaj i będziemy więcej świętować w Toruniu. Do zobaczenia.
There you go, your champion, world champion and winner tonight, Bartosz Zmarzlik. Well done, mate. Enjoy the celebrations.
So there we go, hugely popular rider, of course, for so long. Tomasz Golob, of course, carried the mantle and carried the weight of a nation for Poland, but Bartosz Marzlik has picked up that mantle and has done a remarkable job, and all of a sudden he is the main man in Poland, that's for sure, these days. So now we'll have the podium ceremony for you with the top 3 on the night. And good evening for Maciej Janowski. Good to see him back on the podium, of course. A home rider here for Dakarna in the Swedish league, so I'm sure he'll be pleased with that. Had to work hard to get into 3rd place, but nonetheless, a good result for Maciej Janowski.
Yeah, started the season so well in Goroshan with a 2nd place on the podium in the opening round.
Here we go then, Freddie Lindgren coming up with the customary hot dog, and seems to be a bit of a tradition, but a good effort from Freddie tonight to finish in 2nd place. And hard charging rides in the semi-final and the final, very nearly got his nose in front. But now the winner himself, Bartosz Marzlik, the world champion, coming forward. What a way to round the night off with a victory in the Grand-Prix itself as well. Fabulous, fabulous moments for him. Really did prove what being a world champion is all about. And a fabulous moment for him. And there's no doubt that we have enjoyed a superb Grand-Prix here in Melilla. It's been terrific stuff. We'll shortly
presented by
the 3rd place is presented by Roland Olsson, the marketing manager for the meeting sponsor Kaiser, and he presents it to Maciej Janowski. So I'm sure he's pleased with that. It's been a tough season for Janowski, but on the podium here this evening, a good effort.
2nd place trophy presented by Lars
2nd place trophy is Lars Rosander from the local mayor here, coming forward from Hultsfred. And Freddie Lindgren clearly delighted with that, Chris.
Yeah, popular man around these parts. And another super performance here in Melilla for him.
Very, very consistent here in Melilla. Fair play to him. And now the 1st place trophy will be presented by Håkan Leeson, on the FIM board member. And he'll just shake hands with everybody. And a handshake with 3rd place. But there's the winner himself. Brilliant effort. And a quick chat. But for Bartosz Marzlik, 3 world titles. How about that in 4 years? Brilliant stuff from him, just denied by Artem Laguta last year. So now let's pause for a moment and we will hear the national anthem of Poland. There we are then. 30-point lead in the championship now with 1 round remaining. He really has come on strong, and as I say, 1 or 2 people talking about not at his best this year, including ourselves, I would suggest, but there's no doubt that we've seen the very best of Bartosz Marzlik in the last 7 days.
Unquestionable, he really has come on strong in these last couple of rounds. Fantastic in Wojens and again here in Morlilla, and fully deserves this championship. Great stuff. It's the 4th time we've heard the Polish national anthem echoing out in the stadium at the end of the night this year. Dudek with 1, and that man there with 3 of his own.
So there we are then, the conclusion of round number 9 here in Melilla. 1 round to go in 2 weeks' time in Torun. A great place to conclude the championship, of course. Still plenty to race for the top 6 and the medals itself. So champagne moment for the top 3 on the night. Second place, you would suggest, is all wrapped up for Leon Madsen, but bronze is still very much up for grabs here between Dudek and Robert Lambert, who's moved forward tonight as a consequence of Dan Bewley slipping up this evening, but Bewley's still in the hunt for it, so I'm sure they'll be going all out for a medal in 2 weeks' time, and of course the top 6 still to be decided, so please don't think that it's all over, because it surely is not.
Absolutely not, no.
And as I say, Torren is a wonderful place to finish the season off. A great track and a superb stadium and a brilliant town itself, so we've enjoyed a smashing evening here, that's for sure. So we will look forward to 2 weeks' time, where we will see the champion. Of course, on Friday, of course, will be the SGP2 series at 7 o'clock, and then qualifying all normally at 1 o'clock, and then the race on Saturday evening on 7 o'clock as well. But Chris, it's been a fantastic night of Speedway, and terrific to see Smarsdick do the business.
Really enjoyed it. Bartosz Smarsdick wrapping up his 3rd World Championship, but all to race for still in Torren.
Indeed there is. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please do not miss Torren in 2 weeks' time.
Wait, isn't it my niece's birthday soon? What if I got her a cool magnifying glass on Amazon? We could start to solve mysteries. Set up our very own detective bureau. Identify some suspects. Follow some leads. And crack the case. Best auntie ever.
What you waiting for?
Today looks bright with a good chance of getting stuff done.
Tomorrow begins today with NatWest.
Apply wax. Place the strip. And
be a bad time for the broadband to go down. Don't worry, Vodafone full fibre broadband is up to 5 times more reliable than standard. You did switch to Vodafone, right? Switch and save over £200 versus BT.
What a night in MALILLA. Everything's clear now. We know that Bartosz Smarsdick is going to leave this arena as a triple world champion. And I'm joined by Ty Wolfenden, triple world champion as well. Bartek is now level with you at the numbers of world titles. It wasn't a surprise for us. We did kind of expect that to happen tonight. What did you guys chat about when we saw you getting ready for the final heat?
Basically, he said congratulations to him, and he's having an amazing year this year, and yeah, it's nothing really else to say to him apart from well done and congratulations.
And how do you see your performance tonight? You did start a little bit poor, let's say, but then you show a lot of courage, a lot of determination to bounce back big time.
Well, the truth of it is I was garbage all night, and the only reason I made the semi-final was because Lebedev broke his chain, and then I did okay in the first lot of the semis, and then the setup wasn't good even in that race. After the water on the track, we had so much wheel spin, and we tried to reduce it as much as possible, and yeah, we're just going backwards. So is what it is. Finished 4th on the night and went down 1 place in the championship, so kick me when I'm down, and we'll move on to next 2 weeks' time in Torren.
I need to ask you about that gate selection for the final. Gate A wasn't working very well for all the riders, but for you it seems like in the last 2 blocks of races, once you won, second time you came second, so it worked pretty well for you. Would you make different decision now, as you know the outcome?
As many people see this year, my decision-making for the gate picks in the semis and the finals have been pretty shocking. So it's a semi-final, and I believe that I can do the job from gate 1. So I thought, why give the better guys the inside gates and the chance to push me out? So Here's what it is. I took a gamble in Rostov with Gate 4 and it didn't pay off. And where was we? Voyens last week. Gate 4 was the best gate on the night. But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. Tonight's done. We can watch Bartek celebrate with his family and friends, and yeah.
Exactly. And one run to go still. So best of luck in touring. Thank you so much for joining tonight.
Thank you.
Ty Wolfenden was our guest, and now let's wrap up what happened tonight in MALILLA, the best moments of round 9 of the FIM Speedway Grand Prix.
Great to be back in MALILLA, of course, and we're straight into the action with heat number 9, and Leon Madsen coming on really strong, and at this stage of the night Madsen was looking red hot. Terrific effort from him here, where he roared round the outside to a convincing victory. Really was looking jet propelled. Moving on to heat number 11 with a lot of argy-bargy as they got to the first turn between Ty Wolfenden and Bartosz Marslik, but Martin Vasilik at this stage was going along very nicely indeed. Really was very untidy as they entered that first corner. But then moving forward, as Marslik really beginning to turn on the style. Another smashing win from him in heat number 14. Clearly away out in front, and a dramatic crash between Szapelski and Max Frick saw the race come to an early halt here, and both of these riders were then actually were withdrawn from the event. Frick actually got up to get in the rerun, but heat 17, the first time the top two in the world clashed this evening, but Leon Madsen made a poor start, and Bartosz Marslik was there ready to pounce. And the psychological advantage certainly was with the championship leader at that stage. Final lap there of heat number 18, and a bit of good fortune for Ty Wolfenden, who was able to take advantage of Lebedev's packing up there, and that saw him through. First semi-final with Martin Vasilik taking gate number 2, but a stunning move there from Freddie Lingman with Ty Wolfenden coming through as well, and those two guys go through to the final, and that was the moment, the dramatic moment that saw the World Championship decided, with Leon Madsen packing up and Wolfenden and Freddie Lingman going through the big final. Congratulations, of course, without even going to the start line in semi-final 2. Marslik is confirmed as the world champion for 2022. Semi-final 2 then, with Dudek initially away, with Robert Lambert coming through hard there on the first corner, but Marslik responded brilliantly. Even though he was world champion, he wins this semi-final convincingly, and Janowski riding strongly late on in the race to come through into second place to join his compatriot in the final itself. Superb effort once again from Marslik, delighting the Polish contingent. Final time then here in MALILLA, and once again a textbook start from Marslik, the champion. Roars away, Wolfenden trapped on the inside. Freddie Lingman coming on strong here, putting a lot of pressure on the new world champion, but Marslik, the year, the night belonged to him. He won in fine style. What a night it was. And we've got a new world champion, and I'm sure the celebrations will go on long into the night here in MALILLA. Brilliant effort from Bartosz Marslik. Now we can reflect on the championship standings itself. 30-point lead for Bartosz Marslik, the new champion. Leon Madsen pretty comfortable there in second place. Now it gets interesting with Dudek on 99, Lambert on 97, Bewley 93, Freddie Lingman 92, Maciej Janowski 92, and Ty Wolfenden into the top 8 as well on 88. So very tight indeed. It's a long shot for Jason Doyle, but plenty to race for as a consequence in Torun in 2 weeks' time.
Beautiful fireworks show behind us, and Scott and myself are now joined by the third place, Maciej Janowski. Big congratulations. I know that is something you really needed to finish the night on the rostrum, and this is actually a home track, Dakar na MALILLA. You race here in Elite Serie and you use that knowledge of this track, no doubt about it. You were just excellent tonight. How would you summarize this night from your perspective?
Tough, you know. Last two heats been very tough. I come from gate 4, from 4 position, so but on the end we find some good speed, and I was able to finish on third position. So I'm very happy. I need that point. I need a couple more. So Torun will be very interesting.
Yeah, you said you felt the last races were hard. You're up against it, but when I spoke to you earlier, you said that the equipment is good, but you feel that maybe you're off a little bit. But tonight you rode fantastically well, and must be a big boost in confidence going into Torun in 2 weeks.
Yeah, of course. I really enjoyed riding on this track. So I was feeling very confident before the meeting. But I knew that this will be a very tough night, especially when we go to the semi, and after the first semi I saw Freddie and Ty get to the final. So that's two riders what I before the meeting I used to be very close with the points. So I was like, oh, challenge accepted. So yeah, will be tough. Will be very interesting to the end.
It is going to be tough in Torun. It's going to be very close for that top six. So we need to focus on that. But for 2023, do you know what the changes are you want to make and need to make over the winter?
I will work hard like always, but I didn't think about that yet. I still have two very important meetings, so but I will think about it, Scotty. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Always tough questions from Scott Nichols. Thank you so much. Maciej Janowski, third place tonight at round 9 of Speedway Grand-Prix in MALILLA. Thank you so much. Yes, you can go now and celebrate that third place with your team. And as I heard correctly, we're going to be joined in a minute with Bartosz Marslik, if I heard correctly. So yeah, Bartosz Marslik is going toward us. It's not a surprise. We somehow expected that Bartosz Marslik will steal that golden medal tonight in MALILLA.
We certainly did. We were kind of, in a good way, hoping he didn't, so it goes down to Torun, but you can never rule this man out as he's going to join us now. This is why he's three-time world champion.
Bartosz Marslik, triple world champion. What a night for you, Bartek. It must be an amazing experience, amazing feeling to be crowned world champion before the last and final round in Torun. You're going to be going into that last round with a lot of comfort.
I'm very happy about win the championship, and I'm really happy about today meeting win, because for me so really important, because the champion must be first one in the night, and this is planned for me today. But I'm really happy because now I'm first time situation the last rounds in Torun. I'm really big relaxed in free time, because the last 4 years I'm feeling the same, and last month in the season so really hard for the head, and the fighting about championship so nice, but so very hard for the body and the heart, because you make it must for everything, for the good results, and sometimes you feel that tired about this, and but now I'm really happy, and I don't know what to say more.
Exactly, now you can celebrate, and you can celebrate with your family. We saw Antek Zmarzlik on the podium with you. Your partner Sandra is also here. Your dad, obviously, he's always in your box. How much of a support you get from them, and how important is it for you to have them around?
I'm really very big, because the very run, so my best friends and sponsors so coming with me, and so really big support for me, and I'm really big thanks for him, because I'm fighting together with all the the people around me, so really important about the fighting in the championships.
Perfect, congratulations.
We're always looking for the future of Speedway, so is your son going to be a future world champion?
I think so. Don't want, but I don't want the Antek the racing. But we'll see what happened in the future. Now is the really small kids, and he doing what do you want.
Just enjoy it.
Thank you so much once again, triple world champion Bartosz Marslik. Thank you so much. Enjoy the night. That is going to be a proper celebration, I can imagine. Thank you so much. And now we'll be joining by the second place tonight. Freddie Lindgren did it, made it to the rostrum in front of his home crowd. That must be a great feeling to be here tonight at the rostrum. There is a lot of fans around in MALILLA. How are you doing right now?
Yeah, it was really emotional for me tonight. I struggled some time, and with health problems and things have not been going easily. So I'm so proud of myself tonight in front of the home fans as well. It was a great achievement to be on the podium.
And that battle with you and Bartosz Marzlik in the final, wow, that was something really.
Yeah, but big congratulations to Bartek again. I mean, he's outstanding. It don't matter which race he's racing, he's always 100%. He's a pleasure to watch on the bike, and hopefully I can get a bit closer to him next year.
Yeah, but you pushed him hard, and like you said, you've been battling illness, but you showed your form here. That's your 5th final on the bounce, so close to getting the win, and you certainly earned that hot dog at the end.
Yeah, thank you very much. No, as I said again, I'm really pleased about tonight. I felt like, with my confidence has been low, and I gave away a few points in the beginning when I was making starts, but was not riding comfortable on the bike. But during the match, I got more confidence in my bike, in my ability, and I felt more back to my own self in the end of the meeting.
Well, you put yourself in that top 6 and go well in Torun.
Thank you.
Best of luck. Freddie Lindgren, second tonight in MALILLA. Thank you so much. Well, Scott, the title is decided right now. We know Bartosz is the world champion. He's been going to Torun as a triple world champion. That's what we know so far. But still, the battle for the top 6 is open, and we are expecting a lot of great emotions in Torun for the final round.
Oh, definitely. Marzlik was a favourite at the start of the season, but he's won 3 GPs now, and you look at last year, him and Laguta won every one bar 1 GP. But going into Torun, the champion is decided, but that top 3 is still up for grabs. And that top 6, that's going to get dirty because nobody wants to be out of that top 6. There's a bunch of highly skilled riders all fighting for that spot, so it's going to be exciting.
Do you think Leon Madsen can be disappointed after tonight? He made it quite clear that he's okay with the fact that Bartosz Marzlik probably will seal the golden medal tonight, but he seemed to be bummed out after that heat.
Definitely, because he keeps talking about 2023 all the time, and he felt Marzlik had too much of a lead. But when you're in the semi-final and you go out like that, yeah, he'll be hugely disappointed because he would, while the carrot is dangled and the points are there, he's a racer. He wants to be a world champion, and if he wasn't disappointed, there'd be something wrong.
Of course, still for Leon Madsen, 2023 is very important. He's focused on the next year campaign, and well, it's all over now. 9th round of Speedway World Championship is over, but we are still waiting for the grand finale. A lot of Speedway emotions in Moto Arena Torun in just 2 weeks' time, so hope you're going to join us there because it is going to be a great grand final.